The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Come on in. Shalom. Shalom. Come on in. Blessings, blessings.
The east is where we're from.
The 12 tribes of Israel. Come on.
721 BC.
Blessings to the brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth.
King, he took us down, we fell.
Come on.
With a great escape, we went through the Euphrates.
The Lord held the water still. Oh. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel.
We be.
Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Come on. Simeon, the Dominicans,
Our highest gathering Israel.
the Arabs and Africans told us at gunpoint to gather our wives and children, then sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A higher gather us. Whoa. Come on, wake up, Israel. From the power on high. Mm. Mm. The Most High is gathering the 12 tribes of Israel. Wake up. Uh-huh. Let's get this thing going. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. Asher. In Colombia.
Ruben from Australia. Issachar, the Mexicans.
That's who we be. Come on. Hit the like button. Come on. Levi, the Haitians. Come on, hit the like button. Yeah. Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii.
The Lord is calling back Israel.
Blessings, blessings, blessings. Simeon, the Dominicans.
Our highest gathering Israel.
Yes, a highest gathering Israel. I'm Elder Rawchaa, the Gathering of Christ Church, here with the weekly broadcast. Blessings to the family throughout the four corners of the earth. And yes, as the song states, the Most High is calling back Israel. Folks, there's so many things going on right now. Hold on. They calling me in the midst of this, and All right, I need everybody. I'm only one person at one time. I got head of operations calling on this phone. I'm getting texts on this side. I'm looking to pull Elder Lawya in on that side. Lord have mercy. Come on now. All right, I got it. Got it. I have it. I'm going to make the announcement. I got it. I have it. I will make the announcement in a couple of seconds. Brothers and sisters, tonight is your night, all right? I need to hear from you all. How has the truth changed your life? Be straight up. Tell us. How has the, and look, either for the good or the bad, right? For better or for worse. How has the truth changed your life? I have Zoom up as well as Blog Talk. You can call the phone number or hit the link and come in and give a face-to-face testimony if you would like. It doesn't matter from what continent you're living. You can be in Europe, you can be in Africa, South America, Asia, North America. It doesn't matter, okay? I need to hear from you tonight. How has the truth changed your life? Now, I'm going to come in later and give my own, I would say, testimony to some degree on how the truth have changed my life. But I'm going to take a different angle from just speaking about myself. It's going to be more so an overall perspective, how the truth changed my perception, my perspective, how I view everything on earth different since the Most High opened my eyes. Hey, maybe you have similar testimonies, and we're going to talk about that tonight. But yeah, boy, the stars are falling. The stars are falling. Boy, are the stars falling right now. I don't mean to go into this, but man, Rick Ross, there's a battle. There's something going on where they jumped him over in Canada. And P. Diddy is under all types of indictments. The BET Awards are tanking. Right? So many things are happening right now. And brothers and sisters, it's as if this song I'm about to play was actually prophetic. This song I'm about to play was actually prophetic. These young men around 2010, the young men, one became Elder Rawchaa. They all got together. They were all living in the same area while we were overseas. And Maestro did a song, well, a track. And all the young guys got on this track around 2010. This song is prophetic, especially what's happening with the stars right now. It seems as if Jay-Z is next on the list, but the young men warned them. This song goes out to all of the stars who have chosen the dark side. Let's go. Warning to the stars.
I've been living at the bottom with my hand on your ear. When I walk strong enough to put my hand on your ear. And nobody knows me better than my nostrils. So when I say something, boy, best believe I prosper. Ariaka Ball came and caught him off a girl while you was drunk off of alcohol, partying like a star. That money tree scared.
Go ahead, young boy.
Standing tall, time to cut you down. Sorry, I'm in charge. You messing with the line rat. This ain't no scared cat. Trying to catch me unexpected, baby. I'm expecting that. Bet you that you don't want to come down to my level. I'ma humble you. You won't walk around with a shovel. You don't regard the poor, probably why they wanna jack you. They tired of bird feet, scraps probably wanna crack.
Here's a warning.
For a work. You would think that this fool's fine. Now you're traveling the space to go and still a moonshine, but I'ma bring you down.
Shining for a while, living above
bring you down. Ain't gonna stop till you underground. They've been ruling with a lot of pride.
Rich folks got me walking like a madman. Never really wanna see your brother stand up. I'm posted up like a man.
Go ahead, Malak.
I bring them down like a champ, man. By they pride, I see in they eyes that I'm the last man. I bring them down like the two twin towers. Run up on and introduce you to my two twin powers. Walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Worst enemies, my enemies, so I be mad at myself. Y'all made me this way.
Go ahead, young boy. Malak.
Y'all disable this fate. The queen of Babylon don't wanna play.
Hit the like button. Come on in.
Boy, you ain't gonna make an escape. Equip banana clip lasers, haters, but just wait. I get revenge at the end, so you making a mistake. Strap tails, prepared and heavy, ready for that day. Checkmate anybody that wanna step in my way, cuz.
But I'ma bring you down. Ain't gonna stop till you underground. They've been ruling with a lot of pride.
And you don't want a mission, grab your shoes and run with me. The cops on my tail, but I'm moving real swiftly. It's like they got rabies on them things, make it itchy. But I ain't gonna stop till I'm sucking.
Yahweh.
I'm taking down the stars, all the stars in the industry. They try to take me once, but them suckers getting deep with me. They took my brother through, but they said it didn't matter. They lied on me.
Wake up,
All
Israel,
the
wake up.
So bow down your head and get ready for a tragedy. I'm coming for your heart, death won't come dramatic. I'm finna swing my blade like Slice Game. It's ecstatic. See you guys when I get there, you lanes gon' fit. So listen to the faith that I'm giving.
Warning to the stars. Y'all better come to the white side. The white side. Go ahead, Ralph. Hit him. But I'ma bring you down. Ain't gonna stop till you underground. But I'ma bring you down. Ain't gonna stop till you underground. They've been ruling with a lot of pride. Brothers and sisters, I'm Elder Rawchaa, the Gathering of Christ Church, here with our weekly podcast, broadcast, whatever you would like to call it. Blessings. I thank the Almighty for another opportunity to come before you this coming Wednesday. And guess what? This week is your week. I would like to hear from you all. How has the truth changed your life? You see the phones are open. Here it is. I do this usually once a year. People come in and give us the positives of what the Most High have done since the awakening and for their lives, because there's so much negative out there, so much negative connotation that comes with when our people decide to stand for truth. When our people decide to come back to our original culture, when we come back to the God of Israel, when we begin to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, it becomes a problem for everyone else. Why? Why is it that everyone else on earth can choose their path, can choose what they would like to do with no pushback? A man can choose to be a woman. A woman can choose to be a man. Okay? A person can choose not to believe anything at all. A person can outright state that they're a Satanist and will not have any pushback. But when our people state claim as the children of Israel, it's an issue. Think about that, folks. In a world where anyone out there can identify with anything, why won't they allow us to identify as Israel? That's another question on the table. But guess what? We don't care what they think. Okay? I could care less what they think. A matter of fact, the more pushback we get, it tells us that in of itself, we are on the right path. Because if we were of the world would love its own. But because we're not of the world hates us. Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And folks, before it's over, I'm going to, let me tell you, I wanted to talk about this anyway because I need to give you all my conversation I had with some people. I went into North Philly yesterday to visit my family, right? And a political conversation was sparked. And I need to go into that at the very end to why I wanted to title this show like I did this evening. I left those conversations yesterday, brothers and sisters, with what? I thank the Most High that I can see according to a heavenly perspective. I'm so glad because these people are walking in this earth confident in total darkness and under serious ignorance. And folks, here's the reality why I thank the Most High for the truth. Before the truth, we were no different. We were confident in darkness. But Christ stated, if your light be darkness, how great is that darkness? And yesterday, it magnified how dark the world is on the outside of this truth. And I'm going to talk about that at the very end of here. But before I go there, y'all can see the number 515-605-9327. I'm going to hear your testimonies first. And I'm going to drop the Zoom in, not before I make an announcement. Not before we make an announcement. Man, I believe that summit that the Most High blessed us with not too long ago has sparked something in this earth, folks. I'll tell you right now, it definitely sparked something. I mean, think about it. How is it with the truth? You can get people from all walks of life to come together to hear the message before it's over. What a great way to do it than music. Right? Having everybody come together like they would normally do, but yet hit the world with the truth. Thousands at a time. Folks, I love teaching on the corners and all that, but that pales in comparison when it comes to what? When it comes to being able to impact so many people in a short amount of time. Man, I think we're on to something. Yes, brothers and sisters, let me tell y'all about July 20th. July 20th, brothers and sisters. Let's talk about it before I open up the lines. July 20th will be, let me blow this up here. July 20th will be the GOCC West Coast Gathering, an all-white affair in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, July 20th, the family came together over there and said, listen, we need to get the West Coast together before this thing blows. I said, okay. Let me check a few boxes, get right back with you. And guess what, folks? It has been confirmed. We will be in Las Vegas, July 20th. Now, let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about this. I mean, what an exciting time to be in this truth. While the whole world has gone mad, right? While the whole world has gone mad. So let's talk about it. Brothers and sisters, if I would like to announce that myself, Elder Lawya, Elder Rawchaa, of course, and I, Elder Rawchaa and I will be visiting Las Vegas for the GOCC West Coast Gathering on Saturday, July 20th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We'll have a Sabbath lesson and a dinner and fellowship. The day before that Friday, we'll be having a baptism. Myself, Elder Lawya, and Elder Rawchaa will go to the water and baptize as many members who need that water while in Las Vegas. Okay, if you are in California, Las Vegas, Washington State, part of those bodies, and would like to attend, please see your local leadership this coming Sabbath, and or send an email to GOCC West Coast 144@gmail.com. Okay, let me put that in the comment section real quick. That's right. That's right, folks. We're going to do some cleansing in Sin City. All right. Let me put this down here for you in the comment real quick, if I may. Hold on. 1 second. I'm going to put that in the comment section for you. If you're in those areas, GOCC West Coast, 144@gmail.com. The email is right there, okay? That's number one. Okay, or you can call, here's a phone number, 702-723-6392. Okay? Okay, let me paste that in the comments. Paste that in the comments. 702-723-6392. Okay? Okay, or for full details on this event, GOCC West Coast 144@gmail.com or call 702-723-6392. I know it's a short notice, but hopefully, you know, if you're in the area, you can come through while we exalt this truth on the West Coast, okay? We look forward to seeing you all. For those who can make it. The GOCC West Coast Gathering, an all-white affair. And you'll be hearing more about this as we get closer to that date. All praises, all right? Also, I want to mention that we are in the enrollment period for the Hebrew and Bible Academy, okay? This Hebrew and Bible Academy the theme will be unfolding the seals of the apocalypse. The majority of the lessons that we teach will be prophetic. Where will things end? Okay. And at the very end, no matter what's the topic, what is the what? What is the prophetic value of what we're teaching as far as end time prophecy? Okay. So this is going to be unfolding the seals of the apocalypse will be the theme. Also, this Sunday we'll be teaching the judgment of the nations. What happens to the Gentiles when Christ returns? The day is here. The Messiah is here. Okay. What happens to the homeland? What will our mother Jerusalem, the ground, do when our people enter? That and more. Jerusalem is waiting for her children. And guess what? It wasn't 1948. The whole earth will change when we step foot as a people on that land. And that's after the judgment of the Gentiles. When our people all together step on that land together, after being scattered all these years, for generations, the whole earth will change to a paradise. Wait till you see what we're talking about this coming Sunday, folks. Hence the reason they're trying to keep us as a people from the land. After the Gentiles are judged and all the 12 tribes step foot on the land, led by Christ, the whole earth will turn into a paradise. The whole earth will just change. This is why they try to beat us there and trying to stop our people from identifying the truth concerning ourselves. I'm going to talk about that and more this coming Sunday. All right. Last but not least, week 12, we're going to end week 12 Academy with a crescendo. Okay. Breaking down the 7 seals of Revelation, of the book of Revelation, breaking down the 7 seals in 2 weeks. And then the week subsequent to that, the elders and us, instead of me taking off a week like I normally do for the academy, will be on the West Coast in Las Vegas. All right, there it is. All right, let's talk about it. I don't know if Elder Lawya is ready right now. Let's see. So if you have any questions, any other questions about that, you understand, just send an email to the email I put out there, and I'll be talking about this regularly leading up to July 20th, okay? Last but not least, I thank my loyal Patreon members. I know that I've been off and on with all these events going on, but we're going to bump up Patreon to the next level, okay? We have special giveaways and all these things we're going to be doing for loyal Patreon members. So if you're a Patreon member, you don't want to miss this, because we're going to have little small, I would say, factoids answered every week, which is going to be snippets that we'll use later on other social networks, social media networks, okay? Like, for instance, we can have 1 hour where we'll tell you, 30 minutes on dropping, how do I keep the Sabbath? We'll go through 30 minutes of it, and then if you have any questions concerning that, another 30 minutes, so that if there's any questions, that whole topic, that one topic is sold up within 1 hour. We're going to be doing that strictly on Patreon. It can be any one point. 30 minutes, we'll talk about it, we'll teach it to you, and then if you have any questions, we'll answer the next 30 minutes. Small factoids we'll be doing on Patreon. So if this interests you, come on in, become a Patreon member. Patreon.com/agathering144. Okay? Now, and it's only $5 a month, okay? It's only $5 a month. That's all it is for Patreon, okay? Small factoids. And what we're going to do is, some of them, if they're real good, we'll highlight those particular clips and use them for our other social medias, such as Instagram or whatever. So just hold tight with that, okay? Maria says Patreon is the bomb. Yes. Well, thank you. All praises be to the Most High. Any opportunity to speak the truth and teach the truth, hey. Now, let's go in, brothers and sisters. So many people have a problem with our people identifying as Israelites, but who cares? I would like to know, and let's open up the lines right now, 515-605-9327. Okay? Let's open up the lines, and you tell the people. Okay? Hold on, let me get this out of the way. I need you all to tell the people. How have the truth changed your life? 515-605-9327. And on top of that, let me give you a Zoom link in case you would like to come in face to face and talk about it. I'm going to save my testimony, midway through the broadcast, if you will. Okay? I'm going to save my analysis on this because especially during an election year, I like to talk about this. I had a conversation yesterday, and our people, boy, do they get triggered during election time. They'll even realize they're wounded up like robots to support absolutely nothing while these people destroy them. Okay, they become politically savvy this time of year and go in a hole when the person they elect stomp foot in them for the next 3 to 4 years. So, but I digress. I'm going to do it my matter second, okay? But I want to hear from you, brothers and sisters. Let me put a Zoom link in for you, too. You can choose to call the number 515-605-9327. Or you can click the link right there and come into Zoom and tell us how have the truth changed your life. Hey, whether it be for the good or the bad, whatever the case might be. Okay? All right? Oh, yeah. And let me just put this out there. Last but not least, if you want to be a part of the next academy, okay, unfolding the seals of the apocalypse will be the theme. The only thing you would have to do is type in a browser, historytimes.org. Go there. You'll see Elder Lawya and I will be there. Click the button, enroll, and we'll make sure you receive your welcome package, okay? All right. So let's talk. Let's talk. I have Zoom up here. Let me pull Zoom here. Okay, I got my Zoom people here. Okay, let me admit Chris. Let me admit Chris. Chris, you can put yourself on mute and I'll bring you in a moment. I'll bring you in one moment, Chris. All right. But let me first start with Blog Talk. We have them waiting there, so they're waiting in Blog Talk, so let me grab them there first. 1 second.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press
1 second.
4 digits of your PIN number. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number.
All right.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Bye.
All right, let me try Blog Talk. I have an issue here. Every time I try Blog Talk, there's an issue. So 1 moment.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. Now. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
All right, brother, I need you to put your mic on mute for me for a second, Chris. All right, we good there? All right, we good there. All right. All right. The first person we have 502 area code 5002. The truth. How has the truth changed your life? Okay. 502 area code, you're in. Shalom.
Hello.
How are you?
Shalom, Elder. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. Your volume is pretty low. Let me see if I can turn you up. 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's see. Okay, that should be better. Go on. Your name?
My name is Victoria.
How you doing, Victoria? Where you from?
I'm from Kentucky.
Okay, so tell us, how has the truth changed your life?
I feel like the truth has changed my life and made me get a better understanding of how and what it looks like to walk in the will of his way. You know, I started correcting things in my life that was not of Christ, you know, and started at least checking my attitude about things, how I speak to people, even the people I entertain, what type of people I hang out with, and the things that, you know, that I may do with those people, as well as, you know, my everyday with my son. Because
okay.
I do make sure we say the Lord's Prayer every day.
So give me an example of the positive impact when it comes to the relationship with your son. How old is your son?
He's 3.
Okay, so give me an example when you say, like, with my son. What do you mean by that?
Usually he comes to the TV because we usually watch you on YouTube on my TV. He comes to the TV. He says, "Shalom, elders." He doesn't really say too much because, you know, he's still learning to talk and fluently talk. But he does say "Shalom, elders," and he sits down and watches the videos with me. Not all the way through, but for a decent amount of time. So I enjoy that. And thank God for that.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. And what were you doing before the truth? What would you be doing if you didn't have the truth right now? What do you think?
I would probably be pursuing meaningless relationships with, you know, men. Probably, you know, still possessing traits of Kaylee that we discussed months ago, as far as what type of woman I am and what I stand for. I'm not that type of woman anymore. And I really appreciate that because it is really put into perspective to me what type of man should I desire, you know?
So what you're saying in a nutshell, the truth allowed you to see your value. And through that,
yes,
your value, the expectations for yourself has what? Has increased, which means you have a higher standard for yourself. And therefore, who you deal with is not just callous. There's what? There's rules when it comes to who can interact with you, even if it comes down to a relationship. There's standards that must be measured in your life. When really growing up, who really cared? If they looked a certain type of way or they were cute or whatever the case is. But the Bible in and of itself had you raise standards.
exactly.
So, sister, let me ask you, that's a great point. Why do people have a problem when our people begin to have standards? You notice that? As if they expect us just to be their minstrel show continually. As soon as our people said, you know what, it's time for us to raise the bar. Why do you think all the others out there have an issue with that? And I'm going to let you have the last word with that.
Well, I really don't have my own answer, but from what you have taught me, it's because, they know that their time is coming to an end soon, and they're going to do everything they can to trigger us, to make us act a certain way so that they can still have power.
Okay. Good point. Hey, your rock, don't just cut off everyone that has a dissenting view, okay? Because I also want to bring people in who would disagree also. So instead of blocking them or censoring them and cutting off their viewpoint, if they have an interest in dissenting viewpoint or disagree, why not bring the disagreement to the floor? So at least give them an opportunity to call and or zoom in before just cutting off dissenting comments, all right? I appreciate it. Thank you, sister. Great point you've made. Thank you. Let me place you on hold. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Very good point. 25 years old, say that, listen, I've raised my standards now that I'm an Israelite. Okay? I've raised my value. I no longer devalue myself through sin. What's wrong with that? Why would the world have a problem with that? Hold on, sister. I may come back to you, okay?
Okay, Elder.
Thank you. Right? Why would the world have a problem with that? Someone says $10 million if anyone can produce the technology when it comes to that actually verifies the credibility of the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin is garbage. It have always been garbage. And it was proven to be a fictitious archaeological making about 30 years ago. Right? So maybe I'll go into a whole lesson on that going forward. Folks, they came up with the Shroud of Turin like in the 40s. Talking about they found the sheet that was over Christ's face. Straight garbage. Okay? Now, I'll tell you what. Talking about if you like look at this circular argument. I'll give you $10 million if you can duplicate the technology, that verified like the Shroud of Turin. First of all, you come in here and prove to us that you have $10 million. Okay? That's number one. Okay, so it's a circular argument. The Shroud of Turin is straight garbage, okay? It was always garbage. And a matter of fact, it was some of those ish folks that came up with that fictitious archaeological find, okay? So now, let's go down the line. Now, if someone can prove to me that the Shroud of Turin is true, we'll shut down. We'll shut down all platforms and you'll never see us again. Okay? How about that? Let's go down the line. 904 area code. And then I'm going to... Okay. How has the truth changed your life? Your name? 904.
My name is Eleanor.
How you doing, Eleanor?
904, yes, this is 904.
How old are you?
I'm good. I am 63.
Okay. And you're from what city and state?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, so it's 63 years of age. I take it you grew up in the Christian church, right?
I'm sorry. What was that? What was your question, sir?
I take it that you were raised in a Christian church.
It's kind of like that. I was raised with both parents, but they sent us to church, but they didn't go. So about something like that. They never went, but they sent the children.
Okay, well, let's get straight into it. How has the truth changed your life, ma'am?
Oh yes, it has changed my life. If it wasn't for GOCC, I don't know where I would be, and I think it would be in a very bad place. So GOCC is my whole life. So yes, it has really changed for the better. Your teaching and everything. I sleep with it. I wake up with it. So it's my whole life.
Look at that. So give me an example, real-time life examples that you can take from learning this truth. Like, how was your life changed opposed to your life changed before the truth? How has it changed?
Well, lately I've been thinking about how I could have been so stupid, the things I did before I got this truth. And it's just like, did I really do that? Did I really say that? Or did I really go there? And so it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I know that if it wasn't for this truth, I would be in a very bad place. I know that. I would probably be dead in prison.
I know. I understand, but these are generalizations you're giving. I need you to give me some insight to what your life was, and what have you changed personally since learning the truth. You're giving me generalities. Is there anything specific you can point to that have moved your life in a specific positive direction that would have been different otherwise?
Yes,
what is that?
Yes, sir. Even though I grew up with a two-parent family, I had a baby at 14, and then I got married at 19 and divorced, and I was very promiscuous and stuff like that. And when I look back at that, I see how that would have been wrong.
Yeah, but that's, I understand what you're saying. Looking back, we can all have regret on how we operated. At 63 years old, I find it really, you're thinking back at 63, you would have changed those things anyway by the age looking back at 63. But let me ask you this. When did you get the truth? What year?
I started watching it on YouTube in 2013.
2013. Is there any life changes you made since you learned the truth?
Yes, sir. I take communion at home. I try to gather with the body, and that's impossible. So I just spend time just watching GOCC on YouTube, and I pray more, and I understand the word more, and I see people different now.
Okay. Well, sister, let me go to the next call, because I know you got to get your thoughts. You got to gather your thoughts. It's nothing specific. So I'm gonna place you on hold. I'll come back to you. Okay. But I thank you, though. I thank you for your opinion. I'm gonna hold tight with that. All right. Real quick, I wanted to show this real quick to the person. First of all, the Shroud of Turin has been straight garbage for years. Why did they need the Shroud of Turin, one might ask? Because they're trying to claim that scientific proof that Christ was a white man, in a nutshell. That's what they try to do, saying, well, we got the Shroud of Turin, straight garbage. First of all, Christ wasn't a white man. And that wasn't a cloth on Christ's face. That's some bogus garbage came through Jesuits to try to stake some historical claim to Christ being a white man. And then it justifies at the same time what? At the same time, they were pushing Christian Zionism to get Christians to back white people going into the land of Israel. Okay? Propaganda 101. Propaganda 101, okay? Now, real quick, let me show this real quick, right? And guess what? We broke this down years ago while I was teaching on the street, okay? I don't need the History Channel to tell me whether or not the Shroud of Turin, you know, is true historically, okay? It's a lie, okay? The History Channel had something on this. The latest analysis adds to a century-long debate over the shroud's authenticity, okay? And in this particular study, it was proven that the Shroud of Turin, talking about since 1578, and another thing, they found out that the Shroud of Turin was done in our modern time. It wasn't from no 1600s. Another lie. Okay? So this is some lies that come from the Jesuits, the dark knights of the Catholic Church, to try to what? To try to justify their claims that Christ looked like Cesar Borgia. Okay? So let me type it in. Shroud of Turin. Okay. Let me give y'all some images on this. Look at this madness. Let me show y'all. Oh, we found the cloth. We found a cloth that was laying on Christ's body after he took him down from the cross. This was on his face. Okay, the Shroud of Turin would just not just have his face print, but his hair print too. Are you kidding me? Straight bogus garbage. Okay, this is not the napkin that was over Christ's face. Okay. Talking about in 1931, a professional photographer named Jesse Henry pointed his camera to a piece of cloth called the Shroud of Turin and took the picture shown. How was this image formed? When was it made? Who made it? Is this an image of a real person? Could this be an image of the man known as Jesus Christ? No, it's straight bogus. Guess what? I'm going to tell you right now what this thing can be used for, okay? During COVID, there was a shortage of toilet paper. All right? Hate to be that crass. All right? Hate to be that crass. But when there's a shortage the next time, find the Shroud of Turin. Okay? Let's go down the line. 678 area code.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, sir. Before I bring in a few Zoom people, your name?
This is Brother Raphael from the North Carolina body.
Yeah, can you talk into the phone? For some reason, everyone on Skype is pretty low.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, so to answer your question, how the truth changed my life. And I'm a little out of breath because I just got done working out, but I did want to call in. So the way the truth changed my life is it taught me how to be a better husband, a better father for the most part. The most important part, I should say.
Like, give me some specifics. We're speaking in generalities here. I need some specifics of how it changed your life personally. I was this, and now this in specific I've changed based on the word of God, based on the knowledge and the perspective I have today. Specifics.
Well, like I was saying, the how to be a husband, I didn't understand that until I came into this walk. Understanding the importance of ruling your household.
As an example, how were you doing it first, and then how are you doing it now in comparison?
Before the truth, I would say I was more selfish. Everything was about me. Everything was about what I wanted. Everything was about how I wanted to accomplish things in my life, and kind of putting my wife and my children in the back burner. And, once I got the understanding of the truth, I took it more seriously to rule my household well, according to the scriptures, and bringing up, our children and my wife in the fear and the admonition of the Most High. And I can definitely see the improvement.
Okay.
In our household as a whole.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't personally. I don't see nothing wrong with. Maybe there's something specific I'm missing. A young, ambitious man should be guiding his home, seeing things his way. That's how it. And the wife and children follow. Am I missing something? Or were you just selfish or were you just selfish altogether and didn't realize how selfish you were? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Very, very selfish to a degree. Very
all right.
selfish.
Okay. I got that.
So basically what I'm saying is, so I played professional ball for 10 years, and doing that, it makes you a very ambitious person.
Yeah.
Right. And I was so ambitious till I didn't realize that what I was doing, I was putting things before the Most High.
Okay.
Like my profession was my idol, right? And I didn't realize it until I found the truth.
Mm.
And so what was happening is, because this sport, this God at the time had so much control over my life, I would bring that spirit home in the household. Right. And so
like for example.
Okay, so let's just say I had a bad day at work.
Okay.
Right. And I was very pessimistic, I would say, because the job and the profession itself is so taxing, it's so demanding. It's like one of those jobs in my mind. I always thought that I can go to work today and I can lose my job. So that was always on my mind every day. And it was a lot of pressure for a young man like myself at the time.
Okay.
And so
let me ask, how old are you now?
37.
37. And you said you played professional sports for 10 years. What, football? Football, right?
Yes, sir.
Football. Okay, was you the brother at the symposium the other day that I seen you a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, because guess what? Sometimes, many days I was in the corporate world, right? Tough days. And I couldn't help but it would spill over. It would spill over at home. And I had the truth and it would spill over. But I believe you're more temperate, more understanding. You understand you're not, because that world in of itself brings in a spirit of vanity, right? But go on. So you used to bring your work home.
Yes, sir.
Go on. I'm gonna let you flow now.
I didn't really understand the structure of the household at the time. Now I do. I'm very hands-on with my children, even with my wife. Teaching the home.
Oh, praise.
Leading them in the right way by example first. We always get this compliment when we go out, whether that's to eat, whether we're going to the Shabbat, whether we are as a family, we always get this compliment, and it never fails. And it's like the Most High reminds me to keep doing what you're doing. And it, most of the time it'd be Gentiles.
The other nations.
And it's like when we're out to eat, there's like, hey, I just wanted to come over and tell you guys that you have a beautiful family.
Look at that.
We've had individuals just pay for our food for us just operating as a family.
Look at that. Brother, brother, this is such a heartfelt testimony. And I'm going to tell you, brother, because you rarely hear this positivity when Israelites are spoken of publicly. Why is that? Why they don't talk about what we're all listening to this evening? I'm asking you, why do you think? Because I'm hearing this. Your family, it exudes the Spirit of the Most High. You exude that spirit. It actually emanates through your family, your children. Other nations come up and say, there's something about your family. I will pay for your meal, right? And it's like, why the world would they bring something negative on being an Israelite if it affects so many people positively? I just need to ask.
Well, I think that, us being under the curses, Elder, is rarely seen us operating in that spirit of Christ. And so when the other nations see it, it behooves them. It's weird to them because they're so used to seeing us operate out of character, us operate in single-parent homes, misbehaved children. They rarely see a family in order, so when they see it, they see Christ. And I always make sure that when those opportunities and when those situations occur, that it's an immediate teaching moment for my kids. And I always tell them, I say, "Did y'all see that? Like, we're teaching, and we ain't got no Bible out. We're just living like a righteous family the best way we know how." And the other nations see that. And that's how you be a light to the world.
See, but I understand because, brother, I've experienced some of the same experiences one-on-one when I'm out in the world, when I speak to people. Some people would just come up and say, something about you, I don't know what it is, right? But see, that's privately. Why don't they want that promoted publicly for public consumption to understand the positives is what I'm saying, is what I'm asking. Because, I wouldn't change knowing the truth for nothing in the world, brother. Right? But why do you think the world is afraid to speak of these positives? Like on, you ever see these fluff feel-good news pieces they do on families who have overcome cancer, who have overcome this, first-time home buyers and celebrating all this? Why do you think they don't want to promote the positive aspects of Israelites on that level?
I think it's pride at the end of the day, in a nutshell.
Pride?
I think it's their pride that won't let them admit it publicly. Because once they start to realize and admit that publicly, it's almost like we start to gain the upper hand.
You think that's what they think? Oh, so you think it's more so fear of what they don't understand? Like, they understand us acting a fool, minstrel show. They understand, the stereotypes. They can deal with us from that perspective. But you believe that now that we understand we're Israel and we're walking a different way, it's the fear of the unknown to some degree?
Yes, I believe, Elder, it's the fear of the unknown. And if they highlight more of us operating as a family, then where does the demonization come in at? They don't have anything to demonize us by, because there's so many examples of righteousness in the earth when they show it publicly. So I believe that they don't show it publicly because of those two things: pride and, number one, fear of the unknown. And because if they did, then how do they demonize the children of Israel now? Because we're operating as Christ.
Brother, this is something I wasn't even going to take this angle, right? But this is something that's deep in itself, because you know they would like to promote publicly black men, broken or feminine, criminal, thug, broken, or homosexual, right? They don't want to promote a 10-year athlete with influence, right? In the NFL, great family. It's counter to the image they would like to portray of Judah in the earth today. It's totally counter to their agenda in propaganda. They would like us to think that black people, another trope, brother, they came up with. There's black men on the down low. That was another shot at black men, which was straight garbage. Okay, to have our own women looking at us like, is he suspect? That means if you have upward mobility, all right? That means if you have some level of class and decorum about yourself. Every other nation can have classifications and separations of classes in their races. They wanted us to be what? A monolith. That every one of them are this. But now you get a black man with some decorum, intelligence, right? Well-spoken. Automatically, you have our own women looking at us like, I don't know, he's acting white. He's acting, you understand? It's like these stereotypes they put out there when it came to this down low thing. So that if you do have a man who, you know, of high ilk, he's questionable if he's black. And see, and that's what I like about this truth, because we're breaking all the stereotypes. They've been putting that crap out there for years without any of us having a voice to push back. And when I hear an athlete, strong man, more considerate, family man, and this truth have strengthened the family. This is unknown. You don't hear about any of this on any of these productions that are out there. But I'm going to let you have the last word before we segue to the next person.
Yes, sir. One last thing, quick story. So, I found the truth right around the end of 2018, I believe.
Okay.
And I was going into my 10th year. And so, the off season is actually now, and I was recovering from an injury that I sustained the previous year. So I had to have surgery.
Okay.
And it put me down for a couple of months. Right. And in those months, I feel like the Most High was just periodically moving me away from that world and into this walk of Christ. And I remember, because like as an athlete, you're on this clock. It's like you're almost like a robot. So for me, my training regimen was, okay, after the season, I'll take about a month and a half, maybe 2 months off. A week after the Super Bowl, I'm right back in it. But because I was injured, I had to sit down for a while. And
all right,
I came across the Hebrew to Negro book. And
okay.
I read all 3 volumes. And I never read in my life like this. Never. And me and my wife took a trip to Egypt for like a week.
Okay.
Because I had some time, because I was on the shelf. I was injured. So I just had surgery. I couldn't work out. So I went to Egypt for 7 days. And I remember, I think it was years ago when you said that they call you Benny Yaku over there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this is before we knew we were, Israel. We were just kind of researching. But I never forget how these people was looking at me over there. It wasn't like in America where someone looks at you with that look. It's like, all right, we about to throw down. It wasn't like that. It was like a reverence, honor and respect. They was just staring at me. And I'm like, why are they looking at me like that? I ain't, it ain't like I'm 6'5" or something like that. I blend in with everybody else. But it wasn't until we came back, because we was actually over there during the True New Year, according to, what we teach, in the doctrine. So we was actually over there the New Year, for 7 days. And so when we got back, I ran into the video called "You Should Know the Truth." It was 2 parts. It was you and Elder Rawchaa.
Okay.
And when I saw that video, that's all I needed. And although I was still playing, because once I heard King James was black, it blew my mind. Once I was still playing at that time.
Look at that.
So I found the truth. I got in the academy, and we have these organized team activities. So Monday through Thursday, I was in Buffalo. I would come home every Thursday evening just to fellowship with the saints in Charlotte.
Look at that.
Every Friday, I would come home for like 6 to 8 weeks. I didn't miss the Sabbath. My family was still in Charlotte because we just had our son Isaiah at the time, so he was a newborn. So I was in Buffalo by myself.
Okay.
And this is when I knew that the Most High was shifting my mentality and the spirit that I was in, because I was so driven on my profession. It's like I didn't even care no more. I would come home instead of opening up the iPad and watching tape, I was on YouTube searching GOCC videos all night, to the point where I forgot to eat sometimes. I was just reading, taking notes, studying. Reading, taking notes, studying, right?
Look at that.
And so it got to the point when I was trying to teach my teammates about the secrets of the time.
Let me ask you
I don't
this.
think that was wise, but
Listen, let me hold on. Let me ask you this real quick, right? If you were to put a percentage on athletes that actually have run across this and have considered this the truth, that our people are the true children of Israel, if you had to put a percentage of athletes who know this now, what number would that be?
More than half, I believe.
More than half of all professional athletes. He's speaking of our people in specific. Know that we're the children of Israel.
Yeah.
Or at least have heard it.
Daniel said,
go ahead. I'm listening.
God. Daniel says knowledge shall be increased in the end times. So who don't got the internet? And it's the Most High that wakes you up. Because I remember in 2017, Kendrick Lamar made this album called Damn. Excuse my language. That's just the name of the
that's the name of it. Go on.
Favorite album. And I knew all the lyrics to all the songs. I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black no more. The word is only your color. It ain't facts no more. I'm quoting all these lyrics. Deuteronomy 28, Amos 3:1. And it never clicked for me. It never clicked for me.
That's deep.
Until about 2 years later. And it was like, if the Most High don't wake that person up, it won't happen. So I'm grateful that the Most High chose me or called me to wake up. Because had I not woke up, because I had another year left on my deal, guess what? I would have got the jab because I would have wanted to play. So the Most High pulled me out right in the nick of time, because that next year that I retired, because I had another year left on my deal. I left a lot of money on the table. And these things are documented, unfortunately, so you can actually look these things up on the internet. I never understood why they put contracts out like that, but it's documented. All I had to do was show up and would have made 7 figures.
Look at that.
But something was in me like, that's enough. And I was like, oh wait, I'm done. And here's the last thing, and I'll yield.
Okay.
So I had my financial advisor and I were talking, and it was something in me. I'm like, I'm not motivated. Like something's up. Like it's not driving me anymore. And I started calling other guys that I played with throughout the years. Like, what's retirement like? Like, what do you think? And all of them were giving me carnal responses. Like, man, go get the bag, man. Play until they kick you out. And it never really resonated with me. And so when I decided to hang it up, I still had another year left on my deal. And had I retired prematurely, they can actually take the money that they actually gave me. But at that point, I was so zealous that I didn't even care. So when I called the GM and we had a conversation, man to man, I said, look, We got training camp in about 4 weeks. I don't know if I'm coming back. I'll let you guys know. And then they called me on the 4th of July and said, what you going to do? I said, I'm done. And they said, well, let us think about it. Now, normally the GMs don't really care about you or your family or what you're going through. It's one of those, what have you done for me lately? And so when I told him, like, yo, I'm done, he called me back a week later and his whole demeanor changed. He was like, you know what? We're going to let you retire, and we're not even going to come after your money because you went under the knife for us because I had surgery the year before that.
Okay.
And I had surgery after the season. So had I would have gotten the surgery during the season, who knows what would have happened. But because I played through an injury that I should have had got surgery for, they saw that as a badge of honor and respect. And he honored, you know, my request to retire.
That's the Most High, my brother.
And that was the Most High.
Well, you know what I need to do, brother? Right now, I'm going to write down your number right now because we're not going to wait for the world to actually give the proper attention to what this is and how powerful this truth has been, waking up so many people from every walk of life. I got a new studio that I'm going to have built between the academies. It's going to be a news station as well as a sit-down conversation podcast type thing. And I want you to be one of my guests to come on. We can fly you in because I would like to hear the testimony of football and all that so that it can give our younger generation some insight to, listen, you can have this truth and still operate, right? And still aspire to do things, right? But still with the proper mentality and balance this truth can actually have to help you benefit going through sports, going through entertainment or whatever the case might be, right? The balance not to lose our soul in the midst of it. And I believe that you will be a proper guest who have operated in the sports world to be that beacon of light for young people who aspire to do what you've already accomplished, right? So I need to have a sit down with you one-on-one on a podcast, sit down conversational type deal, right? Hold on. Let me put your number down permanently, and I'm going to put a star next to it because I have so many numbers here. All right. Let me get your name once more, brother, and I will never forget it. Just your first name. Huh? Raphael. Yeah, I'm just going to put it here because if we put your whole name down, you'll be Googled and everything. So I'm just going to leave it there. They're probably already Googling you now, but I'm going to give you a call, and we're going to talk about this sit-down conversation, right? Because men like you aren't getting promoted at all in this world. You're accomplished, family man, a child of Israel, you believe in Christ, the Bible, and guess what? There's no space to actually highlight a powerful person, right, amongst the children of Judah. And that's all of us. That's all of us, how this have changed our lives. And they want people to be promoted like Saucy Santana out there. And guess what? It's going to be conversations like this that will help us push back. Okay? I'm going to call you.
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother. Let me place you on hold. Great testimony.
All right, bless you.
Bless you, my brother. I'm going to have a sit down with this brother. Yes. In studio podcast. Okay. Hey, folks, this thing gonna blow up. We're gonna take this truth to the ends of the earth. I'm gonna tell you. We're not gonna wait for the enemy to validate us. All right. Let's go over to Zoom real quick. 515-605-9327. How has the truth changed your life? Okay. Let's go over to Zoom. All right, we have Chris in the house. And what we're going to do is for the sake of all these testimonies we have in tow, we're going to try to have this in a space of 2 minutes per person if we can, because I didn't know there will be so many people in the queue. Like right now, Blog Talk, the queue is endless with people with testimonies. So I didn't want to get through all of them. So we're going to see if we can cram it within 2 minutes per, okay? All right, we have our brother Chris on the line. Shalom, brother Chris. How are you?
Shalom, Elder.
Talk to me. How has the truth changed your life?
Oh man, Elder, it saved my life. Elder, it's like I had a payback list, like what I mean, a list to where things were happening to me. My cousin used to, for being from Washington D.C., my cousin ran away from Edmonds, and his life was taken. My son, life was taken by my children's mother's husband. And I just had a whole checklist, and this truth saved me because it gave me the understanding of forgiveness. You know what I mean? That if I wanted to be forgive, I had to forgive others. And Elder, as a child, one of my parents was held hostage by a dealer. My uncle took me, my brother, and sister to go get my mom. He actually told us. I was like 5. My sister maybe was like she's had to be like 2 or 3, and my brother was like, he was the oldest, he was like 7. And you know what I mean? And he turned around and said, "Listen, I'm taking you guys to go get your mother. This guy, he may take your, I don't want him to take your mom's life or my life, so I'm bringing you guys with me." So when we pulled up, Elder, I'm gonna make this real quick. He pulled up and he got out the car, and we're just in the back seat. He beeped the horn before he got the car. He got out, and then he came back and he got in the car, and then my mom came in the car. And then next thing you know, she said, "Hey, babies." And then, my sister was 3 years old. She's just sitting there. We all just sitting there, not showing no emotions. And we ain't showing no emotions, Elder, until we pulled off. My sister jumped into my mom's arm and held her. And Elder, that what gives me my fire and my drive, because it was hard, like being a child coming from a tough part of Washington, D.C., PG County. And this have saved my life as far as so much being out in the streets, and I learned to be better.
What in specific were you doing in the streets, and what in specific? How has that changed you now? When you say you were in the streets, doing what?
Yes, sir. I was actually protecting a neighborhood. I was the person that held things in my hands to protect the neighborhood.
So what you're saying is sort of like gang activity. I'm not trying to have you incriminate yourself. There's no warrants on you, I take it?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No,
so
sir.
I don't want you to incriminate yourself, but you were a protector from a gang's perspective. You protect the block.
Yes, sir. Because in DC they had neighborhoods, so yeah, I protect the block. It was like neighborhood things. So I was the one that always kept something, and I'm always kept a lookout. And when people come around, they saw me. They knew what it was, and it got me out of that mindset. And I'm so thankful, because now I do security for the church, and I'm doing that every day at the church. So.
Look at that. So now you're protecting the saints of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
But from
yes, sir.
But from the righteous side of things now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look at that.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Amazing, my brother. These testimonies we put it out there. Because I'm going to tell you, the world would like to shun or make the world believe that men like this doesn't exist. Right? And we're talking about life from the dead right here. We're talking about really being born again as Christ would have those who would believe in him. You rarely hear these testimonies, brother. Rarely hear them in the earth. I really appreciate it. You have the last word before I go to the next one.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to thank you. And Elder, if you have the opportunity, can you give an understanding whenever you're free about Gog and Magog and Leviathan? Because it's like they're talking about it's something in the water right now that's taking out big killer whale. I mean, not killer whales, white shark. So if you could give another, because the Magog and Gog scenario and the Leviathan.
I
And
will
thank you so much, sir.
I will get right on the Leviathan thing, but yeah. Leviathan will soon resurface. And a matter of fact, if you're in the academy, I'll talk about this coming Sunday. Because Leviathan will resurface. And he'll resurface in China and all that. When you seen Godzilla and all of that tearing up stuff in China and all that, that's prophetic. That's in the Hebrew scriptures that he's going to be in China, ripping shop, go back into the water and come into the different parts of the earth on land, ripping shop. We're going to talk about that. Leviathan in the waters. This coming Sunday, a matter of fact. Matter of fact, this Sunday we'll talk about it, okay?
All praises. The water, sir.
The water.
Never
All
honest, sir.
right, can you please let yourself out? And I'll let the next person in. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, listen to these testimonies, folks. Now, before I let in the next person, how have the truth changed your life? I need y'all to come back and hear. I'm going to talk about what I experienced in North Philadelphia yesterday. It blew my mind, okay? I'm not going to take too long with it at all, and I'm going to just take the rest of the calls. And that conversation yesterday, folks, led to this discussion tonight. I thank the Most High on my way home that through the Spirit of Christ, he saw it fit to open my eyes. Right? And I thank him continually, but sometimes real life examples, we get these real life examples, folks, and that in of itself will make someone like myself grateful. Because the first thing I asked after I got out of those conversations was, man, was I like that? Did I think like that? I'm like, well, hold up. Because you don't want to really come down on the people and belittle anyone, especially those you care about, right? But then you look at it and say, you know what? I was raised on the same block, in the same home, around the same people. And yes, even though a lot of us brothers and sisters don't want to admit it, we thought exactly like that. I said, I thank the Most High that he delivered my mind out of darkness. Because folks, in darkness, even when I was operating, you couldn't tell me that I didn't have it together. Before this truth, no one could tell me, listen, sharp, I thought I was intelligent, I thought this, that, and the other. But when you see it from the outside looking in, you're like, did I think like that? Only the Most High could have delivered me to see things from an outside perspective. Because, folks, that was all of us. We were all in darkness. Folks, we fitted right in. So we look at them like something is wrong with them. Folks, they look at us like, hold up, who is this person? We all had these conversations together. We all hung out and did these things together. You coming down on us for being like we've always been. Who are you? So hold back. I'll be right back with my testimony. Then we're going to open up all the lines and keep this thing going, because 2 minutes per. I need to hear. How has the truth changed your life? Okay. Hold tight. 515-605-9327. I see my brothers and sisters who are still there. I see you there on Zoom. I'm going to bring you in. Do not hang up from Zoom. I want to bring you in one at a time as soon as I get back. And we're going to take a quick, small 1 minute break. 1 minute break. Just 1 minute. All right. And 1 second. Just 1 minute and we'll be right back.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
That's right. Hebrew and Bible Academy, you are invited. And yes, a new theme unfolding, the seals of the apocalypse, will be the theme for next academy. If you're interested, go to historytimes.org. That's historytimes.org. Unfolding the seals of the apocalypse is the theme. You don't want to miss it. Go to historytimes.org. We're in week 11 for this academy. In about 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be starting a new one. So go to historytimes.org to enroll. We'll also be dropping a brand new lesson in the academy. Okay. Brand new lesson. Finding the Jews of the diaspora. We were the Jews who were expelled from Spain, Portugal, and different parts of Europe. We were even the Irish who went into slavery. And I'll prove it in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Okay, go to historytimes.org. Finding the Jews of the diaspora to add to the 12 lost tribes found, as well as breaking down the seals of the apocalypse in the next academy, historytimes.org. A matter of fact, let me make this announcement once more. We have a GOCC West Coast gathering. I would like to announce that Elder Lawya, Elder Rawchaa, and I will be visiting Las Vegas for a GOCC West Coast gathering on Saturday. On Saturday. That would be July 20th. Okay. If you're from July 20th, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., we're going to have a Sabbath lesson. We're going to have a small dinner and fellowship that Saturday and a baptism Friday. Okay. The Friday we have baptism. Saturday we'll have the event. If you're in California, Las Vegas, or Washington State body and would like to attend, please see your local leadership this coming Sabbath, or I'll send an email to goccwestcoast144@gmail.com. That's goccwestcoast144@gmail.com, or call 702-723-6392 for full details on this event. We look forward to seeing all of you, all those who can make it. All right. All right. Let's jump right back in. Now, Jumping right back in, let's talk. I'm going to talk about this real quick. Hit the like button, please. How has the truth changed your life? Well, for me, out of the many points I can make to why this truth is so positive, the moral, civil, dietary law, the correct holy days to worship, Passover, the Sabbath, the Day of Atonement, thanking the Most High that He's given us our culture back, our Bible back. There's so many areas I could be thankful, right? But if I had to choose one based on my experience, my interaction yesterday, it would have to be this one. Let me go to Matthew. I hope you all can hear me clearly here. Hope everything is clear here. I have this new mic. I have to speak directly into the cardioid here. This scripture in particular jumps out at me, right? This scripture in particular, where Christ states in Matthew 13, right? And I'm going to take this personal, as if the Most High is speaking to me as an individual. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Now, we all are born with what? Eyes and ears, right? So what is Christ really saying here? That blessed your eyes that you see and ears you hear. 17. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. Think about this. Daniel can only see the prophecy shown in the future, when the Most High have allowed us to live through the prophecies that were shown to the prophets, which confirms the Most High word to be true. Just imagine living in the times the prophets wrote about and understanding your part in all of this, that it was about us the whole time. It was between us and our God the whole time. What a blessing. I'm so glad I can see. I'm so glad that doesn't matter what the enemy say or what he put before me. I can view it and choose whether or not to listen to it or discard it. Okay? And through the truth, the Most High have taken away the spirit of fear. Satan uses fear to put us under subjection. It's a form of control. We must fear God and God only. That in of itself breaks the chains. Speaking of chains, I went into North Philadelphia yesterday. A young girl, half my age, was talking about I was just in the conversation, family members around and all that. Anybody but Trump. Anybody. I mean, why do we only have a choice between these two? I had to creep in there like, okay. So give me your thoughts. What do you think? It was a friend of a family member there talking. She really don't know. She didn't know who I was, right? I'm like, so you got a choice between two. Okay. Anybody but Trump. Okay. if you had a choice, who would you put in? That's what I asked her. And you know what she said? We need a woman. We need a woman. I'm like, sister, don't you think that's disrespectful? Putting down men, living in a world that men built. Now check this out. So what are you, a Trump supporter? I'm like, I'm going to tell you what I am in a moment. Folks, then she started showing off and trying to impress a white lesbian who was also Democrat. Don't we need a woman? Don't we need a woman? And trying to impress, we need women. And I'm like, this is deep. She's working as a black woman to impress a white lesbian. And I said, sister, is there any black men you respect? You want a woman to run things, okay, mind you, I'll give you that. But not once have you thought about a black man. And you're seeking to, all due respect, impress a white woman? I'm just saying, men ruin things. I said, sister, Christ was a black man. I said, Christ was a black man. Do you understand that? I'm like, sister, the same people you're trying to impress have undermined you. Look around you. Your whole community has been torn apart by the same people you've tied yourself to. And now you're talking about supporting a walking corpse. And guess what? She was the loudest person in the room. No one could tell her anything. And that's when it all came to me. That's, folks, it all came to me right there. The loudest person in the room, all the people she support is non-black men. The perfect puppet to undermine and to destroy what's left of our people. That's why they allow her to talk. That's why, and on top of that, let me put it this way, politically ignorant. I said, sister, I can only pray for you. Let me show you what she wanted to support, folks. Real quick. Blessed are our eyes that we could see. Let me show you what she wanted to support. Right? This is what she wanted to support. Fair use.
What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Let me show you this. Right? 1 second. 1 second. 1 second here. 1 second. I spilled something. 1 moment. I want to show y'all this real quick. 1 moment. 1 moment. One second. I spilled something here. Look like I'm going to kill every computer I have. Hold on. All right. Hope y'all can still hear me here. Right? I'm already down 2 computers. Right? 1 second here. Now I want to show y'all something here. I showed this in the academy. Right? All right, hopefully that doesn't mess the computer up there. Now, I showed this in the academy, right? Look at this. This is Biden. This is him leaving the podium after the debate. Trump exit that way. They swing the camera back to Biden. Look, look. He can't even walk down 2 steps. Let's move it back. Now, in all due respect for him, it's not his fault that he's suffering from old age. But him aside, brothers and sisters, I need y'all to check out how our people, how these sisters inside the inner cities are blindly supporting the destruction of our people. Without shame. And right there, I'm like, well, hold up. She'll stand for a white lesbian before a black man and try to show up a black man in front of a white lesbian. No respect. Politically ignorant. And it led me to these. I'm like, you know what? This is the majority of our people who's dying in the communities. These are the majority. They've placed the destroyers over our people. And the only scripture, here are the 2 scriptures that came to mind. And I said, boy, I thank the Most High that he woke me up. Boy, I thank him that he woke me up. Let me read this real quick. Let me read this. Isaiah 1:3 reads, no shame. Isaiah 1:3 reads, the ox knoweth his owner. And a donkey, which is an ass, his master's crib. Even a donkey know where to go home to. Even a donkey understands his master. But Israel don't know. Israel doth not know. My people don't even consider. Our people don't even know to have an allegiance to their own team. Think about that, folks. You will have them stomping for Asians. You will have them stomping for gays. They don't even know who to have their first allegiance to. Every other people have an allegiance to their people first. Think about that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm looking at a sister with a family who's taking an allegiance to everyone else except her own people, with the biggest mouth in the room, and don't even know how these others she's stomping for truly feel about her. They're laughing at her. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Their thoughts, their thinking is backward. And it led me to not come down on the sister. I had to what? I had to look within myself and state and think, hold up, Lord. All of us thought like that. We were programmed to think like that. I thank the Most High I have eyes to see, that I know where my allegiance lie. I know where home is. Israel. I know who my God is. Ahiah. I know who's my Savior. Yeshua, the anointed. I thank the Most High I found home. Because if you don't have an allegiance to yourself and your people, you have an allegiance to nothing. Nobody can trust you. Not even those you're stomping for. Not even those you're stomping for. Last scripture, Job 39. Last scripture, Job 39. No allegiance. And wonder why our people are war torn. No direction. The biggest mouths, ignorant to the world, politically illiterate, leading our people to hell. We just need a woman. Yeah, we need a woman. I'm like, what type of woman? I don't know. Men's hat. And I'm like, Lord, these are the people they give a microphone, a platform. These are the people they find in our community to stomp for all of the other nations of people who are destroying us in our communities. Job 39. I said, I thank the Most High that they've given me the truth. And I need to open up the forum and ask everyone else, what have the truth done for you? Okay? How has the truth changed your life? Because, folks, we thought like her. And these are the women running our communities. The men have been totally muzzled, castrated politically and otherwise in our communities. Somebody want to come in. I'm going to bring you in one moment. Job 39 and 13. Let me read this so I can get to the rest of our people up in here. 515-605-9327. I have a few Zooms also there. Job 39 and 13 reads, "Gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks?" You know, the peacocks look all nice with their tail when they move their tail open, and their flowers flock out during mating season, right? Soon as mating season comes, that's when the peacock spreads her wings. Or wings and the feathers unto the ostrich. Check out what the Most High says about the ostrich here in the Bible. Which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in the dust. And this ostrich forget that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. So here are some animals who look all pretty on the outside, but place their young in danger. They care more about how they look than the protection for the generation that comes after them. Check out the wisdom that's being dropped in the book of Job. They look all pretty, but do nothing for the next generation. Who leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in the dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them. She may crush her own children, or that the wild beasts may break them. The wild beasts of the nations are the Gentiles who are going to come in and destroy our children. Because we have women who think more about how they look than protecting the integrity of God's people for the next generation. 16. She is hardened against her young ones. She'll curse her young ones out, her children, in front of people. She is hardened against her own children, as though they were not hers. As if they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. 17, because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. So we can understand why an ostrich or a peacock would put their eggs in danger. Because the Most High didn't give them wisdom or understanding or knowledge. But how can this transfer to people? Have our people lowered their intellect or IQ to the level of a bird? That's a question. And I thank the Most High, because growing up, someone, I would say, strong and heady in words, leading the conversation, usually it would back men down, and we would allow them just to operate and say what they want. Just to what? Just to keep conflict from happening. See? Just to avoid conflict, we would allow these people to talk and destroy and say all types of stuff just to avoid a conflict. I thank the Most High now that I see things as it is, And folks, when I was finished that conversation, there was nothing to be said. At the end of the conversation, she was silent. I'm not going to go into the whole conversation, but I had her reflect on her own life. And we talked, and I'm like, hey, what can you talk about politics? When you're responsible for one place, the place you live, and look what you've allowed, look what we've allowed to happen to our community. We had one responsibility, and that was our block. Who runs your block? But I'll leave it there. I thank the Most High I was given eyes to see. They have intentionally placed ignorant, blind people over our community to finish us off at the very end. But I thank the Most High that the young men in particular are waking up. The lion has awakened. And what are the young lions doing? They're moving right out of the way. They're moving silently, but moving nonetheless. And preparing for what's to come. The young lions have already awakened, folks, and they're already pivoting and realizing those who want to stay on this Democrat, progressive, sinful boat, folks, the brothers are jumping off the boat and will allow it to sink with those who've built the boat. And folks, it says, an ass know his master's crib. You think it's any coincidence that the symbol for the Democrats is an ass, a donkey? And not that I'm Republican. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say it over and over again. But you think it's more than a coincidence that the Democrat Party is represented by an ass, a donkey. Let's go. Let's go down the line. How has the truth changed your life? Folks, I'm glad I can see. 708 area code. Come on in. Let's go down the line.
Over and over again. But you think it's more than a coincidence that the Democrat Party is represented by an ass?
Let's go. 708 area code.
Go down the line. The truth change your life, folks. I'm glad I can see.
All right, we have to go back. We're going to grab Kathy. Kathy has a comment.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. How you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing good. Today is my 20-year anniversary, and I'm sitting outside the restaurant waiting to get through before my husband and I celebrate our 20 years of marriage.
Congratulations. Congratulations. What say you? Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your evening. You've worked for it. What say you?
Thank you. I have a lot to say, but I'm going to just try to sum it up. I want to start off by saying that one of the things that I no longer do that has changed since I've been in the truth, and that's been since the end of 2013 when my husband and I came across your videos. But the first thing was I stopped sending all my money to Israel, to the Jewish people, and because I realized who I was sending it to was not necessarily who Israel was. Another thing that I had recognized is all my life I had kind of felt as though I was part of the bloodline of Christ, and I would say it. And then when I found out that my great-grandparents, last name Khan, K-A-H-N, on my mother's side, were Jewish, I then said, oh, well, that's the answer, but I still didn't feel comfortable in it. And what really changed is my thinking, is me having an understanding now
of the experiences that the Most High allowed me to go through. Again, I've called in before. I had mentioned, I've worked from everyone from Magic Johnson to Death Row Records, Suge Knight. My children have been friends, been to P. Diddy's house. Like, the things that are happening right now are just really personal and close to me because of the people that I've worked with, the industry. I went to school and got a degree in theater arts, and at the end of it, I decided not to pursue that career because of what I became aware of. But I realized that even in my modern day Christianity, with my grandfather being a minister, I grew up in Compton and Watts with my mother in a large family with a lot of ministers, including women. And one week I lived with my mother in the hood. The next week I lived next door to Ray Charles with my dad with housekeepers and this. So I was back and forth getting life experiences from like both sides of the tracks. And I would wonder to myself when I would think certain things. For example, one of the biggest things I had an issue with was slavery and just wanting to understand. And I would get all kind of crazy answers from people like, well, it was easy to enslave you guys because of your color. You stood out. And just those things, they weren't answering why we were enslaved. So just knowing why and how we went against the Most High and why we were punished, and but to know what is going to happen in the end, turning back to our God, turning back to Ahaya and understanding who he is. And just that in itself, having the true name.
Yeah.
Because that was something that my husband and I had prayed for. They say God had many names, and I knew that that wasn't true. I just knew that I can't say how I knew it. So a lot of things I experienced, like going to Catholic church, having the Archbishop do my confirmation in 8th grade, because I went everywhere from Catholic church to this, having debates with Muslims who did security for like Death Row Records when I was working there for over 20-something years. Just all of my experiences, knowing how, I know a while ago you had did something and you showed how there were statistics on how our people would be killed or die on Friday night, and how we were taught that that's the weekend and go party, but we didn't know that we were going against God by not honoring the Sabbath. And so just having, as you mentioned, the holy days, having the correct name of God. And, one of the things that has been the hardest for me is because I come from such a huge family, meaning I have 65 first cousins. My mom has 8 sisters, 3 brothers. We were always very close-knit. We did everything. But looking back now, they claim that I'm in a cult. However, the family and the Christianity looks like the cult. And it was really hard to separate from that, because when you love your family, but I realize now my family is the family starting with the GOCC. You are my family. Everyone on this line is my family.
That's right.
And, when Christ said, who is my mother and, who is my brother? And that wasn't being disrespectful, but it's of those who are serving Christ and doing it the right way, righteously, and those of the kingdom God doing the Father's will.
Yes.
And so for me, so many things that I've gone through, like meaning getting educations that I felt like I can't use now. Oh, you have a theater arts degree, and having you can't go do your acting. And I was, people wanted me, and that was another thing. A lot of doors opened that most people in the world would want to open for them, and people would tell me, "You're stupid. You have all these opportunities, and you rub shoulders with all of these different people, and you're not taking it. You're stupid." But I realized at one time I would have taken it, but now I realize I thank God I didn't take it, because where would I be, And again, certain things that I was involved in or around and saw, like all the way up to being at Interscope Records and having those meetings with the CEO and these higher ups, it was scary. And as I was coming out of the industry, my husband was getting opportunities going into it. And I kept telling him in the studio, "It's demons in here." And he was thinking that I was just, tripping, as he would say. And finally one day he came home and he said, "You're right. It's demonic up in there." Because my husband had did secular music, but he also did gospel music. And after he recorded, he wanted to use his time to do gospel music, and they wouldn't even allow him to. So that opened his eyes. I'm just grateful again for.
Well, we got to wrap it up, sister. We got a lot of people testimonies here now.
Yes, and just what I want to say is the difference is where I am today. As a Christian, I would stand, as a modern day Christian, I would stand harder. But now in the truth, I noticed that I would kind of not stand the way I did as just a regular Christian. And it was because I was concerned about the backlash and I was concerned about losing people. But thank the Most High today that those are not my concerns anymore, that I'm willing to lose anybody and anything for the sake of this truth.
Well, thank you, sister. Well spoken. Well spoken. Well spoken. Bless you. Thank you. All right, we have 3 minutes before the lines cut off. If you're looking for testimony, looking to speak through Blog Talk, 515-605-9327. Okay, Lawya told me that he's on standby. Let's see if he's still there. Let me add him to the call in case he's still there. Let's see. Oh, the Lawya, you're there. If so, please pick up. I'm sorry. I got so up in it, I forgot to call you, so I apologize for that. If you're there, Elder Lawya, pick up. All right, 515-605-9327. You have 2 minutes to get in the queue before the queue closes. All right, and while that's happening, let's see who's been waiting for a while here. Okay, I'm going to go down the line. Elder Lawya, you there? Okay, he's not there, so. All right. Just call when you're ready, Elder Lawya. I'll bring you in, all right? In the meantime, remove from call. All right. Okay, in the meantime, okay. Let's go to Zoom. Let's go to Zoom. Let's go back to Zoom in case we have some people waiting in the wings here.
90 seconds.
90 seconds before the calls cut off, but still Zoom is open. We have Ak Malak Yahawadai. Two minutes, my brother, 2 minutes. 90 seconds before.
Shalom.
Shalom. 2 minutes, my brother. Let's go.
Okay. I wanted to say because I thought wasn't in the truth yet. I'll still be like watching like things and like evil things, and also I'll still be in church. But
just tell me, how did the truth change your life? You got 2 minutes.
Okay. Basically, I don't watch things I'm not supposed to watch anymore, and I come out of sin and all that. You see, like before I didn't even know I was Israelite, but then when I came in the truth, I told my dad, what am I? Because I felt something different. Like I thought I was something else because I didn't feel like I was Indian originally. Like,
well, hey, brother, I'm gonna let you gather your thoughts. I'm just go out real quick. I'm gonna bring someone back. Your thoughts all over the page, brother. You got to roll it. You got to roll it. Have it together. Write it down, and come right back. All right.
All
right, my brother. Get those thoughts together. All right, my brother. Lean to the other side. Hit exit for me real quick.
Leave. So press leave.
Yeah, hit leave.
Okay.
And I'll tell you when to come back, my brother. There it is. Get your thoughts together now. We on the clock. Nicole Johnson, let's come on in. Yes, how you doing, Nicole Johnson? Hold on.
Leave. So press leave.
Yeah, hit leave.
Now, but
I'll tell you when to come back, my brother. There it is. Get your thoughts together. Yeah, brother. Listen, if you're gonna come in here as a young man, you have to sharpen it up now. Sharpen it up.
Yes, how you doing, Nicole Johnson?
Greetings, shalom.
Shalom, sister. I hear myself. Do you have me on Blog Talk too?
Oh, my bad. Hold it.
Yeah. Turn down YouTube.
Yeah, brother.
I am.
Listen, if you're gonna come in here as a young man, you're gonna have to.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing, Sister Nicole? That's your name?
Oh, yes, that's my name.
Okay. And your daughter? That's your daughter?
Yes, that's my daughter Zoe. We met you 3 weekends ago.
I remember at the gala.
Yes. And we also gave you a shirt that says "Sin not," your little closing.
I got you.
Yes, so I wrote my stuff down because I can go.
All right, let's go. We got 2 minutes, so let's do it.
2 minutes. How has the truth changed me? That was just so easy to answer. First of all, it freed me. It freed me because the truth that does truly make you free. And I swear, all of my little insecurities and hangups that I had about my life, about my physical, all my little physical hangups and insecurities, they just vanished. And,
okay, so what are they? What were they?
Well, I've been comfortable with my dark skin, but when I was very young, I always wondered why I had my dad's color instead of my mom's color. I had issues with my our what's the word? Our my curvy features. I always struggled with that because I was a dancer and cheerleader and performer and stuff, and I always thought that I was always self-conscious about that.
Okay, when you say let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
How could you be self-conscious about your skin? Like because I'm gonna tell you, and this is something we have to bring up because it's not men that I've seen who make women, subconscious about how they look. Men never had a problem with your dark skin, right?
No.
And see, we got to do something about this because the unspoken conversation is it be women making other women feel a certain type of way about how they look.
Right. And I was oftentimes in settings where I had had Edomites in my in my circles often, and I would always be self-conscious around them, thinking that they were always, eyeballing me and looking at me and saying, "Dog, she has a big butt," or all those kind of things. So
you had all these things in your mind, but you found out that they weren't really, they didn't really care about that, right?
No, I got over that, I guess. But I guess whatever little hump that I had left over, once I found out back in 2020, when the Most High dropped this truth in my lap, I was over every hang up that I had about me physically. and anything that I needed to do, felt empowered, which brings me to my second point. That is what the truth did for me. It empowered me. Because I was one of those people that was wondering why was it that our people, was always on the bottom. The plight of our people was just so, it was just so awful. And I was a person that always wanted to know why. I was a why person ever since I was a child. And if I might have been temporarily, satisfied with answers that people gave me in the church, but I was always seeking, and that was just a lingering question for me. So once I found out that the reason why we were on the bottom, it empowered me because now I'm able to change my circumstances and be able to come out from under the curse for myself and then help others come into the truth to come out from under the curse. So it was empowering, and it made me more nation-minded as opposed to individual-like, thinking individually, which is one of the things that I think that Christianity really did a number on us as a people, is to make us individuals. And it made me just nation-minded constantly. I was all in kingdom-minded because now I'm not living to get the BMW X6 that I wanted. Now I'm thinking in terms of what the kingdom is going to offer and what is going, that was more important to me. All of a sudden, I could be satisfied with the, with what I had, and
Thank you.
my marriage improved. And my marriage was already good, but it just catapulted. I looked at my husband in a whole new light. He just became my king, and I wanted to make up for all of the selfishness and things that I had done prior to, and I just wanted to make sure that he and I have like a six-year difference in age, but I wanted to make sure that he was just well taken care of, because he has always been just a strong provider for me. All of my marriage, I've been a stay-at-home mom and able to develop my gifts as a artist. I teach piano. I play piano. I write. I compose music. All those things I was able to do because my husband, my husband's provision, and everything that I gave up from, the church and even some family members and friends that I've given up underneath this truth. I find that there is the Lord has really showed me that there is no loss with him, and he's already replacing all those things that I think that I had lost, like friends, and because I had some strong soul ties under the, when I was in the Christian church, because I was like a member there for like 30 years. And I was very, very active and, very, very well known. My husband and I both are singers, and my children, here's my daughter, Zoe, plays violin. And,
violin. She sings also?
She does sing. She's yes.
Talented. Okay, all right. Got to have a talented family. All praises.
Yes, and my son is a gospel rapper. So, but he's also the.
Well, I'm glad y'all playing for the right team now. But go on.
Yes, we're on the right team now. And my son is the youth pastor of the church. So
yeah, you told me about him before.
Yes. So I'm just so excited. My daughter says she wants to say something right quick.
Go on, sister. What's your name, Zoe? Zoe, right? Yeah, Zoe. Go on, Zoe.
So yes, when I first found out about it, I was in my junior year of college, and my mom brought it to me. And
Can you get closer to the microphone if you don't mind?
Speak up.
Yeah. So when I was finishing school, I was in my junior year when I first heard about this truth, and it was from my mom. And at the time, it did make sense to me. But the more I learned, the more of fear I had a sense of it. And I can say...
Okay, afraid of what? Fear entails one being afraid. Afraid of what?
I guess fear of just my everyday routine. I grew up with one church my entire life. So fear of routine, changing things like the holy days, the way people would view me. I was in a Christian organization. I was in school to keep me God-minded. And even, things, even just about the end times and how things would unfold with America. But the more, I now believe that there's strength and knowledge, and there's some things that I still have to resolve, but I do feel a sense of peace that not only do my parents are with me, but I know that it is my destiny to be a wife and really teach this truth to people my age and younger.
Look
and
at that.
Now that I'm done, thank God.
Let me ask, Zoe, how old are you?
I'm 23. I'll be
23. Now let's talk about it, right? The fear of things unfolding and all that. And this is how I usually ask questions when people, because usually, these are proper concerns, right?
Yes, sir.
They're going to happen, right? So would you rather not know, right?
No,
Everything the Most High said is going to happen has happened, and will happen. Would you rather be one of the few who don't know and get caught and get caught out there without preparing? That's number one. Number two, the more you know, the less you're going to find out there was more fear from that side than this side.
Yes, sir.
The peer pressure, how people will accept me, my skin tone, what are they thinking about me? Right? You're going to find out that they were using fear to keep us in bondage. That's what it tells us in Hebrews 2. You're free now. I'd rather know than not to know.
Amen.
Yes, strength and knowledge. Yes, sir.
Right? So all
Yes,
this
sir.
fear, believe it or not, were invisible barriers they placed in us through psychology.
Yeah.
They've placed these fears in us and these insecurities in us so that by default, others are catapulted above us because they're not raised with those fears. They're not raised being subconscious. So what they do is they keep the low at the bottom without doing a thing. So, sister, you are free.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You are free to listen. If everyone else has the freedom of religion and the freedom to believe what they want to believe without any pushback, why should we be any different? If anything, it's showing forth their hypocrisy.
Yes, sir.
Are we free or aren't we?
Yes,
And if
sir.
we free, I should be able to say what I believe in without pushback, without getting ostracized by those who are claiming we all have the freedom of religion. Or have you lied to me that we only have the freedom to believe what you've given me? See? But sister, I'll let you have the last word, young lady, and then I'll have to go to the next call.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yeah,
sister,
that-
we're
that's-
breaking through.
Yes, we're breaking through.
Right? Because let me tell you, conversations like this, seeing a woman of age have tenure in a relationship, a daughter, right, who's being raised in the admonition of the Almighty. These are all positives. And conversations like this give me hope after what I dealt with yesterday.
Yeah,
Right?
this is a virtuous young woman, and I'm thankful that she's excited about her future now. She had initial fears because she's always kind of had mentioned about getting into about things, but she has confidence like she's never had before.
Well,
and
that's
I'm
good.
We are
Well-
a family in the truth, with the exception of my son, who knows.
Well,
he's
listen,
Jewish.
your son believe in Christ. That's truth enough. He'll believe it, sister. They've already, like I told you before, their plan was to set up the church to destroy it at the very end anyway. Once they knew our people would believe, now that we believe, there's no need for the church for them. They're not faking the funk anymore, if I can use that term.
That's right. You know about the funk.
Yeah. So the whole thing is, now that they can't use the church as a form of control, they're dismantling the church anyway. So believe it or not, your son is not going to have any place to go because they have no use for the church if they cannot use the black church politically to keep these nut jobs in place.
Yeah.
These Satanists in place. If they can't use the church politically, then there's no need. They have no need for it. If they can't have the church to promote them as the Jews, as the chosen people, like I think you called in, another person called in before you and said, listen, she was just sending her money to Israel. And now she's not in the church. She know that we're the people. She don't send her money to other people anymore.
Yes.
Right? She used the money for her people, for her nation.
Yeah.
For this work, right? So all in all, sister, this is a great testimony. Because I'm gonna tell you, they would rather, I'm gonna let you get the last word, but this is why they're inundating the airwaves with people like Sexy Red. Because let me tell you, sisters, they know women like you exist. They know women like your sister exists. I mean, your daughter exists. Right? But the whole thing is we're out of the Clear Huxtable phase of image.
Yeah.
And we're into the street. Now they're into the straight out streetwalker image to portray the children of Zion, the daughter of Zion, as a harlot.
Yeah.
So let me put it out there. When I see things like this, when I see sisters who are willing to stand on what's right, virtue, righteousness, it speaks to the power of Christ, the work, and the true church that's teaching this Bible in the earth today. It speaks to that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And guess what? Not just your son. Once they finish with the church, sisters, let me tell you, it's going to be a number of people that will shock you. There's many Christians that are looking at these particular broadcasts and are silent. They're just not saying anything. They love the community of their church. They love the congregation, the friendships they've developed for decades, and they don't want to lose those relationships. Okay, mind you, that's fine. It doesn't mean they aren't listening.
Oh, praise.
And I'm going to tell you, sister, believe it or not, your son probably sneaks and look at things, even if he disagrees with it. Don't be surprised.
Yeah. Sorry.
Even if he disagreed, that's fine too. Paul disagreed until he ran into Christ on that road to Damascus.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, sisters. And what a great testimony.
Can I say this? Can I just show this right here before we leave?
Go on, show it.
This is my husband's certificate of achievement from the academy. Well, it's been a few.
You can show it. Put it in the camera.
This is one of the effects of being in this truth, how the truth has changed our lives. Because he was reluctant on the front end, but you were the difference maker as far as reeling him in. And he would get up on early Sunday mornings when we used to have to do sound check at church. He would be sitting at the dining room table or at the counter in the kitchen and listening to Elder Lawya, learning Greek and
Hebrew.
Looking forward to the I said Greek. I meant Hebrew. He was learning Hebrew, and he was looking forward to the news and of course the academy lesson. And he has become a giant of a man.
There it is.
So I just want to encourage people, get in the academy if you're not.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
We love it.
Thank you. All right. Daughters of Zion. Daughters of Zion. Thank you. Beautiful family. Let yourself out, sister, if you will. Beautiful, beautiful family. See, they don't want to promote righteousness and virtue like that, right? Tommy has a comment. What say you, Tommy?
Shalom, Elder. Can you hear me?
Can you speak up in your phone just a little bit?
Can you hear me now, Elder?
Yeah, you're good. Well, you is a little loud, but you're a little.
Okay.
It might be on my side. I'm still trying to work this mixer a little bit, but go on.
Okay, my comment first is I met you in 2023 at the Cleveland, Ohio spot. I'm the one that said, I don't want a picture. Give me a hug.
I remember
you. Remember me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Okay, so what has changed in my life since I came into the truth? First, I want to say peace and blessings and thank you all in the GOCC body and being kind to me from the start. And Sarah P.
Hold up, brother. You got something playing in the background. That's, yeah.
Okay, that's my radio. I'm at work. I'm sorry, I turned it down. Sarah P. is the one that, I want to say her last name, but I keep her confident. Anyway, she kept sending me videos of you all on Xerox paper, and I would look at them and look at them and look at them. And so I joined the Houston body. The same day I joined was the same day I went to baptismal class, so I've been baptized.
Okay.
And I just want to say my life has been changed. I eat differently. I praise the Lord on a different day. You know, when I told you, I said, thank you for what you do so I can do what I do, and that's what it is. Do what the Bible say do. And I've noticed that our church, because I've been to a lot of different churches in my life. I'm 62.
Okay.
And I just thank the Lord for the opportunity to do it correctly. And I believe this is correct. And so when I start knowing how precious we are and loving us more, the anger for those others that did us harm or wrong, and I could feel it, kind of diminished. So I don't have a hate for anybody. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get rid of a lot of it. And so that's one thing that's changed in me. I went through a divorce. When I came into church, I was going through a divorce and a car wreck. and it was my second divorce. And so I knew there had to be something wrong with me. So I run up in the church. I know I've always gone to church. I've always stayed tied. However, I was doing it the wrong way. And so also what I've learned since I've been in church is that not a guy was telling me yesterday about his boss told him don't to go to church on Sunday the Sabbath. I want to correct me so bad, but I've learned to hold my peace until somebody asks me something. Because I used to, when I first came to the truth, I used to jump out there and want to tell everybody, just like in 2023, I want to run through that place and say, hey, y'all, I'm your brother DeBar. But, you know, I didn't want to be too tacky. And so I'm so grateful. I can say that much has changed in my life. Is the maturity level has risen through the ceiling. And, boy, so many things I want to say, and I just don't get it out. I'm not a public speaker.
It's fine.
However,
you're doing fine.
I've come a long ways. Man. And it's only because of reading the Word of God and practicing what I've read the way it was written. And, you know, there are people that always would attack you if they find out what you're about. That one guy talking about, hey, my Israelite brother. And you know what I told him? I said, well, there's two brothers. One that's doing something and one that's not. The one that's not doing anything may be the one you need to laugh at, bro. At least I'm trying to do something.
Yes.
And I am, too. And I've been in the truth since 2019.
Thank you, my
right
brother.
Before the pandemic hit, boy, did you know I stopped taking shots. Excuse me. I stopped taking anything.
Listen. They say you can actually talk about it now that everyone went for it already now. So they don't even stop you from talking about it anymore. They've accomplished what they wanted to. So.
Yeah.
But you were able to avoid getting yourself, I would say, jabbed.
Yes, sir. I will not for anything. And they've tried. I'm an asthmatic, and they tried.
Yeah.
They wanted to give me this kind of medicine, and I won't do it. Now I got a backache sometimes. I won't take a shot for nothing.
Okay.
I don't care. I can't see what's in that. I don't care.
Well,
so that's changed. The way I've let people handle me has changed.
Well, thank you, brother. We have some natural herbologists. We can talk about it. Well, I'm going to place you on hold, Tom, so I can get to the next people, okay? Is that all right?
All right, Elder, I want to say I love you. And,
thank you.
And all the elders. And Ariel is my elder. He's a strong man.
He's a great man.
Thank you, too.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for everything you've done, sir.
All praises be to the Most High. And that's right. The Most High, one thing that's good about this truth, how it changed my life, and now I have an extended family. Christ's family. What more can you ask for? We have a pastor's daughter with a comment. The pastor's daughter.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, ma'am. How your name?
I'm Kim. I attend the North Carolina body.
And your father's a pastor.
I've spoken with you several times.
Yeah.
So,
your father's a pastor at what church?
I've spoken with you several times. Rising Ebenezer Baptist Church in Winston-Salem.
Okay, I think you mentioned that.
So
all right,
I've been working with him too.
Okay,
yeah,
sister.
I've been working with him.
Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I want to make sure I get to everyone because I have Ernestine, we got Chanel, we have other people down there. So 2 minute shoot. How have the truth changed your life?
So many ways. 2020, my brother got a knock on the door. Police came knocking on the door at 7 o'clock in the morning, asked me my name, said, your brother's been shot 5 times. I was scared the whole entire way. I knew that he was someplace doing something he wasn't supposed to. I didn't call on Jesus. I didn't call on God. I can't say it as eloquently as you and Elder and all the other elders can, but I knew who Ahia was, and I knew who Yeshaya was. 3 hours later, he came out of surgery. He had 5 bullets to go inside of him, 10 holes in his body with the exit wounds. I called on the name on the way to the hospital. He came out okay. 2 hours later, another guy in my community got shot 3 times and did not make it. So I know the power. I also know that with learning the truth, and I've been studying with you all since 2016, and I'm bringing my daughter up in that way as well.
Praise
But
the
I
Most
do
High.
know that with this road, it is very, very lonely. And I thank God for the North Carolina body. I have met friends there. We went to go see Godzilla and King Kong, and I hadn't been out in months. And that just really rejuvenated me because you do get lonely and you do feel like sometimes you're in it by yourself. Looking at all of the things that's going on in social media, going on in the world, I have been kind of discouraged. And something said, go to the Word. So for the last week or so, I've been doing nothing but old Bible studies that you and Elder Lawya used to do back in the day.
Okay.
And I just, the one I did this morning was Seek the Kingdom, because I even see that people within Israel, our cousins and our brothers, how they're coming at us as Judah. And I'm like, why is this division taking place? And it just really saddened me to see this amongst, the tribe, when we're supposed to be coming together. It's like we're talking about, or they're talking about us, and they're trying to move us out and all of this. And I said,
Hey, sister, who's
I
talking?
need a
You're
word.
losing me, sister. You're
And so
losing me. You're talking in thought, but what do you mean? What are you talking about? What people? Who are you talking about? The division.
So
Who's?
so I'm talking about like our cousins, like the Latinos. A lot of confusion that is going on within social media about, the lady from Iowa. She's, talking junk about us. Also,
What
with
lady
the
from
Kendrick
Iowa,
Lamar
sister?
concert that took place in.
Maybe I'm lost with something. Is it something I'm missing? What lady from Iowa? What are you talking
So
about?
there's a politician. There's a politician. She's from Cuba.
You're saying politics. I'm in on trying to figure out when you're talking about how did the truth change your life, right? All due respect, I know you're just saying what you're thinking, but I was more so along the lines of hearing that. But yeah, there's some.
Yes, sir.
There's some.
But I'm saying with the lesson that I listened to today with Seeking the Kingdom and listening back to those Bible studies, it strengthened me. So to just sum it up, knowing that there are words out here for whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, that there's Bible studies that you could just tap into right then and there. And the joy of the Lord is the strength. So the truth has really helped me because I can see and I can hear beyond what my other brothers and sisters out here who don't know the truth. I can see those things, and it saddens me that so many of us are lost. But just to know who we are, and just to know that I can always go back to these teachings and go back to the Word, that gives me strength in my weakness. So that's all.
Sister.
That's what the truth has done
All right.
for me.
Well, those are some great points. I'm gonna place you on hold, okay, sister? All right. And what the sister is saying, pastor's daughter, is that the fact that she always has a lesson to fall back on, right? And this is how the truth will change her life. No matter what she's going through, she'll find a video, and it's the exact video that's needed to give understanding when she's going through even a dark moment. The fact that there's videos out there. I mean, I'm talking about thousands of videos on every topic, and she will go into a video and it'll say exactly what she needed to understand at that moment. So that is something positive, that the Most High have allowed the work to have that long tenure to a degree where there's topics on every possible scenario or discussion that one might need to have or understand when it comes to the Word of God. So I can understand how she tied that in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one. We have Zoom user on Zoom. It's our last Zoom before I go through all of these. 2 minutes for Zoom user. How are you doing, sister?
Shalom, Elder. How are you?
Shalom. Tell everyone your name again.
Damaris.
2 minutes. How have the truth changed your life? And I'm talking about a real 2 minutes now because we're going down.
I know.
All right. Let's go.
I got it down packed. So I had came into the truth as a lesbian. So I was all about nothing but men. I was since I don't know, since like 12. I even got a tattoo. I'm
Oh
ashamed of
yeah.
it.
Hey sister, you don't be ashamed. You told your testimony.
Um,
You was in the alternative
so
life and you've been delivered. Go on.
yeah, and it's been a blessing. It has been. I'm so like it's a blessing that my eyes are open, my ears are even open, to hear. Every day I look forward to listening to the lessons and being edified, and I'm constantly getting edified, and I just love it. I just love the fact that I came into the truth, and my brother's in it, and he's in it like really hard. He wakes up, he reads the Bible. I do too.
Good.
I go to work listening to all the lessons. Even if when you guys aren't even on, I'll look for a lesson, or a lesson just pops up, and I'll listen to it and get edified, and I just love it. And now, it's like I tell family and friends, like, I'm very serious. I'm not in that life anymore. I mean, it's a
Good.
shame that I've wasted all my life,
You
in
can't
it,
look
but
back, sister. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop saying you are ashamed and been ashamed. It's over with. Right?
Yeah,
You're a
right.
new creature in
Right.
Christ. No one can change yesterday. Stop apologizing for something that you can't change. All right? So
Elder, you're right.
find yourself a man and make a nation like Abraham. All right?
Elder. Thank you so much.
All right. All
For your
right. Bless you.
lessons. I appreciate you. Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh, and I've gone to the church too.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. Keep it going now. Don't stop now. All right.
I will. Have a great night.
Find yourself a man. All right.
He gonna find me, Elder. He gonna find me.
All right, listen, either way. And make a nation like Abraham. Girl, bring that baby here in righteousness. Go ahead, girl.
Thank you, Tawada.
Yeah, that's how you make up for the future. All right,
Elder.
there it is. Bring some of
Thank you so much.
those children of Israel up in here. Bless you. You can let
Bless
yourself
you
out.
Okay.
All right, bless you. All right, we have 713 area code. 713, talk to me. How has the truth changed your life? 773 area code. Okay, no 773. We have what? We have 850. 850. Okay, yeah, that's skipping around. All right, we have Crazy Cat Lady. Listen, I hope we're not in trolling mode. Crazy Cat Lady.
How do you turn this off?
Can you do me a favor, sister, and center yourself with your camera, if you don't mind?
That is what I'm trying to figure it out.
No, you take the camera because I'm seeing the bottom corner of your head. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
flip it around. Look into the camera.
Oh boy. I don't know if this will
Oh,
work.
Lord, have mercy. Okay, there goes the Crazy Cat Lady. All right, how do we work this out? All right. That's how we gotta find out what we remove at. Crazy Cat Lady, remove yourself, please. Lord have mercy. Don't tell me we getting in. I forgot it's an extended weekend going into July the 4th. Yeah. They cracking open that secret sauce early. All right, let's see what we got. Someone started their weekend very, very early. All right. 336 area code.
336. That's me, Elder. Is that me? Really?
Hello?
336 area code. Is that me, Elder?
Yeah, that's you. Your 336 area code?
All praise to the Most High. Yes.
All right. What's your name?
I'm in the
Your
truth.
name? A
My
location?
name is Mary.
Huh?
I have alarm keeps going off on my phone. I don't know how to cut it off without making sure I don't get cut off from disconnected from you,
Okay,
Elder.
336. How did the truth
I'm
change your
Sister Mary
life?
from the North Carolina Biden. Come on, let's roll with it.
All right. Talk to me. How
How
has
has the truth changed my life?
Yeah, talk to me. Come on.
The truth made a difference in my life. It sobered me up to the understanding that we are the people
Okay.
that have the morality responsibility to demonstrate and show forth righteous living in the earth. It helped me shape up, get up in ship shape and walk straight
Okay.
correctly before the Most High, as I was not doing when I was going to First Day Church. I was slipping and ducking, things like that. It helped me understand that I could not do that anymore. And
Okay.
it helped make a whole lot of things in life make sense, Elder. The madness that is living in this Babylon, being a person of color, and the oppression and different things that we go through, it made it make sense. I used to always walk around and think, why is there a church on every corner in our community?
What's every time someone say that person of color, that gets under my skin. What's a person of color? Huh? Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is a person of color.
Black people.
Jackie Chan.
Color. They used to call us.
Okay. Kimesh Habib is a person of color. All right. You talk about growing up as a black woman from the tribe of Judah or Gad, right? But go on.
Elder.
Okay, go on.
Judah.
Yeah. Let's stop using their political terms that have been used to undermine us. We're not people of color. We're just say we're black people. You can use that, and you can say we're the children of Israel, right? That people of color. That's a Trojan horse. I hate that.
Salakia, Elder.
No, I try to correct sisters with that because we're programmed into using their political words to undermine us. But you're right on track, though, with your perspective. But go on.
Okay, we are the people with the morality responsibility. Elder, can I share something with you?
Yes, ma'am.
That
By
it's
all
a
means.
little rhyme that I kind of wrote last week, and it says it's in Matthew 10:5-8. The Most High put a big steak on the disciples' plate. And my question was, can anyone tell me where or when did they this directive keep? Go ye rather to the lost sheep. Elder Rawchaa, blessed are your feet.
Hey, okay, you got bars. All right, thank you, sister. Bless you. Thank you for that. All right, bless you. All right, we're winding down. All right, we're winding down. Chanel has a comment.
Yes. Good evening, GOC Elder. How you doing?
Good evening, Chanel.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What say you? The floor is yours.
Oh man, I just want to say I'm a Bible reader. I just got really involved in it in the last 7 years, and I'm a hearer of the word.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You're a hearer of the word.
I'm a hearer of.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a hearer of the word. So you've been on time with everything for the last 7 years that I've been on this journey, especially I found you guys in the pandemic.
Yes.
And
All praises be to
I
the
just
Most High.
thank you guys for yes, I just want to say that. I don't have too much to talk about. I'm just a hearer of the word at this present time.
Okay.
And I just, I started with Deuteronomy. I went to Deuteronomy first, and Deuteronomy took me like a gut. So that Deuteronomy made me fall to my knees because I had to hear about the curses.
Yeah.
And right now I'm finding myself in Ecclesiasticus, and every morning I like to listen to it on the Bible reading app. Like I think like the Bible reading, they just read the scripture.
Yeah.
And I just see everything that the Bible says. GOC always bring it. And like I said, I love the camps too. I am a lover of the camps, my brothers, but I'm a hearer of the word. So when I hear the word, it's like antennas, like my antennas go up. So
okay.
I just want to say thank you, and I'm a hearer of the word, and right now I'm stuck on you guys. So I'm stuck on you guys right now.
Well, thank you, sister. I just hope that we can be a service to deliver, to continue to deliver the good news and the truth concerning this word. And, anything we can help in your progression towards the kingdom, that's our due service. Okay. I really appreciate you, Chanel.
Oh, yes.
All right. Bless
All
you.
praise. Thank you again. Have a blessed one.
Okay.
All right.
Shalom.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. I want to go into this. I want to talk about this next week. That the statistics bear out that 25% of Americans who have been in the country where their family have a line in the country since the 1800s to 1900s, that if you're from the long line of those who have really a stake in America, not the immigrants that are coming over, just what we know about the white Americans who have been here for hundreds of years, as well as black people and others, that the numbers bear out that by the year 2030, 25%, there's, as far as marriage goes, Americans that have a long line of tradition in America, their children, their daughters in particular, will have a 30 to 35% chance of ever being married, right? The sisters, black women, will have less than between 23 to 25%. And they're all meeting in the middle by the time 2030 comes, the majority of Americans in general. Well, the majority of Americans from the traditional line will be single. I'm speaking 75% of the women single who has a traditional line in America by 2030. Is marriage officially dead in the West or in America? We're going to talk about that. The same time they have worked on separating us, we have people talking about, I want a partner. While gays are now being married, calling their same-sex marriage partner husband and or wife. Think about that. Partners in civil unions used to be verbiage in the gay community. Now, straight people are seeking to be partners, while homosexuals have taken the marriage label. I'm going to talk about that next week, and I hope you all are here to have this discussion. It's all bearing out that by the year 2030, that the traditional line of Americans being white or black, women in particular, 75% will be single. Now think about that with all the immigrants that are coming into the country married and are now teaching their traditional values from back home amongst their families, the new Americans. What are those optics? What does that mean for America altogether? Okay. And we're going to talk about that next week. 443 area code. 443.
Shalom.
Shalom. I'm only going to take 2 more calls, and then that will conclude our broadcast for this evening. 443, give us your name, sister, and tell us, how has the truth changed your life?
Shalom. How's everybody?
We're doing well. Shalom, sister. What say you? The floor is yours.
This is Sister Ruthie. This is Sister Ruthie. I'm B-Body.
Okay. The floor is yours, sister. How has the truth changed your life? We're waiting on you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, I want to say the truth has changed my life all for the good. It's been since the baptism, which was May the 15th, 2020.
Oh, praise.
And I put all my sins away. I am still pushing. It's been 3 years plus now for me. So I am still pushing and living righteously. The blessings of learning, being obedient, all of it. I just got tired of sinning, and I gave it to the Most High.
Okay, how old are you, sister, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 62.
62. Hey, you grew up in the Christian church?
I did. I was raised in the Christian church. I was from a holiness church.
Oh, look at that. And now you're finally home. Let me ask you this, sister.
Yes.
What impact that had on you when you found out that, you know what, in fact, the children of slaves are, in fact, from the physical lost sheep of Israel? What impact did that have on you in particular? Being in your 60s,
it was just
senior years?
It was a blessing just getting an out.
But that in of itself, did it bring you personally closer to the word when it comes to understanding the word, right, on the next level? It's one thing reading and trying to understand the Bible before we knew who we were, right? It becomes a little bit more personable. That's the word, right? When you realize the people you're reading of are your ancestors, the prophets, they're our family. Christ, our family. That in of itself changed my life. But go on.
Yes, that was a beautiful experience as well. Just knowing that you have so many sisters and brothers is truly a blessing. And yes, it has.
And sister, let me tell you, I don't know if you're in the academy, but this weekend, when we go into the judgment on the Gentiles, there's a reason why they're seeking to keep us off of the land. The land of Israel itself will respond to her children. When all 12 tribes are led back there again in Christ, the whole earth changes. Jerusalem is crying and waiting for her children. And once she embraces, the whole earth will turn into a paradise. Let me tell you, through the Spirit of the Almighty, we are the line. We are the people through Christ and the Holy Spirit that will literally change the world. Why? Because Adam was made out of that same ground. The 12 tribes, the root that came out of that, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, we're from that original stock that was shaped out of that area. So, I mean, even though we must go through Jacob's trouble and go through all the negative that we see, there's so much positive to look forward to, right? To know that we will one day see Zion, right. and then there's going to be a judgment for those who have opposed not just God himself in Christ, who continually harm and oppose God's people, to see the judgment on the enemies who have destroyed us, unrepentant enemies. Hey, what more can we ask for? Right?
What more? All praises, all praises. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All praises.
Man, I think about it and I'm like, everything, sister, we talk about Deuteronomy. The Most High spoke of what? He said if we sin, we would go into captivity. Did not that happen? Yes. So we have to look forward to the prophecies in the future. That negative happened to us, but there's a lot of positive coming down according to prophecy that happens when our people are back in Israel. And I'm not talking about the UN. I'm not talking about the Balfour Declaration. I'm not talking about the EU and the Europeans drafting up their own legislation to get some people in Israel. I'm talking about when God's people are led into that land during the judgment through Christ's return. Once all 12 tribes set foot on that soil all together, a domino effect. The whole world becomes a utopia. So they're scurrying trying to get off Earth right now with their janky technology, talking about we going out in space. Why do you think they try? Listen, why would they be trying? This Earth is beautiful. Why would they be seeking to go outside of the Earth if they aren't fearing something coming here? Okay.
Right.
Hey, but there's nowhere to run.
All right.
Hey, so I want to talk about the positives in this lesson this coming Sunday, the judgment of the nations. When Christ put all of the nations under their foot, the dragon of China under Christ's foot, that rock in Mecca rolling down a hill getting crushed by the foot of Christ, the Vatican getting judged by a black man by the name of Yeshua. He's going to weave himself a mountain, sister, in Jerusalem. And he's going to fight against the people that are in the Middle East first. Woo! I'm ready to teach that right now. Don't get me up in here.
All right.
Hey.
I appreciate you sharing that.
Oh, sister, it's so much. They want us to always view the negative, but there's so much good to look forward to. But it first comes with claiming our stake in all of this. Okay, no more dual allegiances. Our allegiance is first to our God, Ahia, Christ, and to God's people. And then we have an allegiance to the Gentiles who seek to follow the true gospel of Christ. But outside of that, hey, thank you, sister. Bless you. Welcome to the truth.
Bless you. Can I just say one more thing?
Go on.
I like to also share that I also learned to separate myself. That actually helped a lot. I'm very strict on who's around my surroundings, and also I'm really strict with that. And it's always on my mind constantly to do what's right. I'm always asking questions. I just want to make sure I'm following to do what's right.
Good for you. Bless you, sister. Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you as well.
All right.
Shalom.
We'll be in Vegas July 20th, West Coast. Hey, we'll be in Vegas, the West Coast Gathering. GOCC West Coast 144@gmail.com for those who are interested. A white gala, a white get-together, all white with our fringes on. 702 area code. Let's do it.
Shalom, Elder. How are you?
Shalom, sister. You are actually the last call for this evening. And we have another. After that, we have one last call through Zoom. So 2 minutes. What say you?
Khan. Well, my name is Matamana, and I represent from, the Las Vegas body.
Okay.
The honors to the elders and honors to our Deacon Bakar and Officer Rawchaa.
Yes.
The question you posed, it's sensitive to me, but in honor of my integrity of my husband and I will just speak as best as I can. From the world to the truth, I was that Jezebel, and I was the adulterous woman that Christ said, if you cast the first stone, get up and sin no more.
Okay.
But what Christ has done for me, he has restored my marriage. He's allowed me to be a mom. This year, our 12-year-old got baptized.
That's a blessing. What a blessing.
He's done so much that I can't even continue to say. I am so emotional because Yeshua is just, I praise him, I worship him, like never before, because I know what he's done. And because of that one video, you and Elder Lawya hired the true name of the Most High in the little room with the light y'all had on, brought me to walk up to you in 2016 and shake your hand, you Elder Lawya, at the time. And since then, it's been war, but it's been a beautiful war, a war I'll never, ever trade in for anything. And that's just my testimony.
Well, Sister, blessings, and I hope to see you when I get there in a few weeks. Thanks for holding on in there.
Look forward to it.
Bless you, bless you, bless you. That's beautiful. The family stayed together, and guess what? You'll walk into the kingdom together. All praises. Though your sins be red as crimson, Christ will wash them white as snow. So it's okay. Stop reflecting on who you used to be, and walk that path towards the kingdom in purity. All right. Thank you, sister. All right. Are you in the bar? Last call, 850-850. You stuck in there. That's why I'm bringing you in. 850. And then we're going to bring in Payalu Tayal.
Hope you hear. Hello?
850 area code.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, Shalom, Elder Rawchaa. How you doing?
I am blessed by the best.
Hey,
Your
Shalom,
name?
Elder. How you doing?
His name is Ahia.
I'm Brother Samuel from the GOCC Atlanta body. I wanted to speak on the topic, not going to be long on it, about how the truth has changed my life. You know, through the teachings of you, Elder Lawya, you know, and all the elders and bishops of the church, all praises to the Most High. It's really helped me as a man learn how to deal with things from a righteous, rational standpoint, and then also through, you know, living your life and everything through the scriptures. It also makes you an example that the Most High wants his people to be for the earth to see. And I want to share this with you. So, you know, me and some other brothers in the Atlanta body to fellowship, you know, we like to, you know, meet up there and we'll go play basketball and everything. This past Sunday, we went to go do it. And we were actually in the Atlanta Buckhead area, which is no affluential area up there.
Yeah.
And
I'm familiar with Buckhead.
so we ended up renting the court. And hello?
Yes, I'm familiar with Buckhead, but go on.
Say, Elder? Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, as you know, it's an affluential area up there. So we went up there, nice area, nice court and everything. And it was actually at this white lady's house. Very, very nice lady. So we ended up going up there, fellowshipping and having a good time. And it's crazy, Elder, because the funny part is that she was so astonished and amazed to see, you know, having black males up there, because it was 6 of us that went up there. She was so amazed and astonished to see us playing with each other, getting along. There was no fussing, no fighting, no bickering. And then on top of that, having black males that were masculine as well, fellowshipping without any issues, because it seems like whenever they try to promote black men now, they either have them either as homosexuals or they want them whining and crying like Van Jones was on CNN over Joe Biden getting elected. So with all that being said, she was so astonished by that she even wanted a picture of all of us on the court and everything when we got done playing. And I can, you know, email the picture to you if you would like it and everything. But just, you know, experiencing that with her, that made me realize, you know, this is truly what being an Israelite is all about, and being a righteous example to the other nations.
Brother, she wanted to archive that for a museum. Like, this is what black men used to look like. And, you know, after living in a world of saucy Santanas, right? You talking about all in Atlanta. She was like, man, this is like I done found a skeleton of a dinosaur. real black men with you know.
Right. Yeah, because
so yeah, hey,
exactly. And even when
we're the literal last of the Mohicans. But go on. Hey, I tell you, that's
you
what
ain't
it is.
lying, yeah, because absolutely, absolutely. Because after we got through playing, you know, like I said, she doesn't know us from Adam's house cat, Elder. And then, you know, it's not too often that, you know, black men get to go in those houses. And, you know, after we got done, she allowed us to go in the house, change out of our clothes, and you know, to get ready to leave. And, you know, before I left and everything, she was asking me, you know, about the church and, you know, how long me and my friends have known each other. And I explained all that to her, and she, you know, she was taking in, by it and everything. You know, we had a good conversation with her. She was a very, very, very gracious host. Yeah, because, you know, especially the Atlanta area, she doesn't get to see that much.
Listen, tell
her,
her
with black men, then especially allowing them into her house that she don't know them. Yeah.
Hey, tell her to come on through and get this truth, because hey, that place is going down like Sodom and Gomorrah. Thank you, my brother. Look at that. Thank you, my brother. All right, they seen some brothers hanging around. Right, like what's going on here? We haven't seen this until we haven't seen this since the Cosbys was on. What's going on here? Black men in authority. What's going on here, huh? All right, we got my brother in the house. Last call for this evening. Not last call, but I'm done there. This is the last. We have a brother on Zoom. Pay Alu Teal. I hope I've phrased your name, said your name correctly here.
All good. Shalom, can you hear me?
Shalom, brother. Pay Alu Teal. That's your name?
Close. Pa-Alu.
Pa-Alu Teal. Where you from, my brother? Talk to me.
My parents are from West Africa. I'm born and raised in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm in the Orlando body.
Okay, obviously you are from the tribe of Israel. You Judah. Talk to me.
All praises, man. All praises. So yes, I mean, there's so many different layers and so many different directions that your mind goes when you see the name of the title of the broadcast today. And I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to get on there, because it's anxiety inducing just to try to think about how to encapsulate like just exactly what the truth has done.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Look at that. Look at these young men. How has the truth changed your life, my brother?
It's insane. I wrote some notes here just to kind of stay condensed. But a lot of what people were sharing today, just knowing the truth and how powerful that is, especially being raised in a system. And I love your episode where you talk about the Matrix and you literally parallel it to the movies, to where if you are going out there and living your life, as much as you may have pride in your black skin and you know, you may have found a way to overcome all the conditioning that we're fed to hate ourselves. Like the sister earlier was talking about how she just didn't like her dark skin. And you were like, well, black men didn't necessarily put that into you. It's the sisters. Right. But with the sisters being the weaker vessel, Satan's getting in them and then having them defeat themselves. Just like from a macro, that's what they're doing to our people, having us degenerate from inside, if you will.
Can I say something on that real quick?
Of course. Absolutely.
I have seen beautiful black sisters talk about colorism, how colorism this and colorism that. And I asked the right questions, right? Like, listen, you have never had a problem with a man who was seeking to marry you or to date you in hopes of marriage. And what I found, let me tell you, when a sister is dark-skinned and beautiful, I'm going to tell you this right now, a lot of jealousy ensue around her. And she don't even realize that people aren't putting her down because she don't look nice. They're putting her down because what? It's about competition. It's about competition. If she can make you feel less because you're dark, she'll win. And then sisters project that and believe that, okay, other people might feel this way. But when the sisters really think about it, there have never been a shortage of good men that she would deem her type. There was never been a guy that wanted her that said that you're too dark for me. I don't like what you look like. Every man that she's seen coming up was attracted to her. So it's important that sisters break that idea of colorism and the idea that because that's something that didn't come from amongst the men.
Right.
It usually comes from the cycle of women. Sometimes, unfortunately, I've seen it because I've seen it when my mother, sometimes she was upset and she's mad at my sister and she would comb her hair. Look at your naughty head and stuff like that. I've seen that.
Mm.
And my sister would grow up. My sister was beautiful growing up. Right? Everyone loved my sister. She was dark just like me. Beautiful young lady before she turned, of course, drugs and all that happened. But before that, beautiful black young girl. But a lot of that was instilled in her with sometime how my mother dealt with her. And then you understand. So that's the first step. That's the first subconscious thing that happens to a daughter, whether or not her mother appreciate and instill the values in her to know that she's fine the way she is. If she see her mama dress a certain type of way and her mama ain't taking care of her hair, and there's another example of beauty outside of what she is naturally, automatically a young girl will be subconscious. And there's another thing, and I'll let you go since you was on this. It's another thing being subconscious with as a young girl. She have to deal with all these other issues. And then on top of that, the Bible says that a woman, her sorrows are multiplied, which means when she thinks of something negative, it's about 100 times worse than it is, strictly because that's one of the curse on the women. Yeah. They stay in their own heads with that because their sorrows are multiplied. So it's more important for us to tell our sisters, it's fine the way you are. You find the way they are, but it starts with the mothers. And let me tell you this. Hence the reason why, even though Jewish people know that the bloodline is through the man, is a reason traditionally why they say, what? You're not a Jew unless your mother's a Jew. They're not doing it through bloodline. They're doing that by putting the onus and responsibility on the mother to instill pride and tradition in her children as a responsibility. That's why they do that. They'll tell you that. It has nothing to do with bloodline. They say if your mother's a Jew, then you're a Jew. Why are they putting that pressure on the women? Because if their children don't come out right and aren't raised right, they put it on the women. So there's an earnest responsibility to instill the culture from the woman into her sons and daughters as the chosen people. And that's what emanates throughout the earth with them as they grow, because they were taught from yay high how valuable they were from their women. From their women. And it starts with the mother. And then it goes out into the community when they lie about this good hair, bad hair stuff. When girls are catty and jealous because a guy seen her walking down the street, and now the girl who liked the guy is going to talk about her nappy hair so that she can move her out of the way and get with the guy, knowing the guy wanted the girl, the dark-skinned girl first. And we have to be honest with this. Women can be real catty and attack and destroy one another, and it's seldom spoken about in our community. It's not the black man to why black women are subconscious concerning their color. And we have to break that stigma. Christ was a black man. Solomon was a black man. Black, dark, and lovely comes from Solomon. And I'm saying this because once we break this stigma, brother, Our women are going to step in the gap and instill the proper values and care in our dark sisters that should have been taught before Willie Lynch. I digress, but let's go. I'm sorry. Your floor is yours now.
No, absolutely. No need to apologize, man. Once you start, it's like, I'm out the way, you know what I mean? Because everything that you say, every point, you know what I mean, is poignant in and amongst itself. Because again, there's so many layers that goes down, you know. And I'd say the part that us men played in it, not to make this the main topic, but again, just going along the lines of where I started, saying that like you're already up against so much, what's the word I want to use? Like so much, there's a thing in jujitsu called invisible jujitsu, right? Where if you're skilled, there's certain moves that, and Elder Rawchaa was talking about this last night. If you're boxing an older person, it's like you may be younger, faster, and stronger, but you don't have the wisdom to see the shadow punches. You don't have the wisdom to see the invisible punches. So basically this truth, it like excels your maturity in the fighting realm, if you will, to where you can now see the invisible punches, right? You can see the invisible jabs. So when you were talking about the women and how they've poisoned the women, it's like, okay, well, if a rotten fruit is sitting next to a healthy fruit, it's just a matter of time before they both become rotten. So they've rottened us as well too as men, to where we're wired to look for the lighter skinned women. We're looking at the white women, etc., because the programming has been taught that if you're Black, specifically a woman, the darker skinned woman, she's sassy, she's got attitude, you know, she's gonna be neck popping, she's gonna be, you know, boy this, boy that, tapping her weave. All these little subtleties have led us to shifting away from our women, and exactly what you've talked about in various lessons. The goal was to get the strong Solomon, the strong David, the strong, you know, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob out of the way so that they can have the women just destroy themselves from within. And of course, she's got the mitochondrial Eve, so therefore it's self-genocide, if you will. You know what I mean? It's self-deletion from.
See, but I'm gonna tell you this though. I've talked to my sons who both graduated college.
Gotcha.
Right. And I thank the Most High. They have some beautiful, dark, lovely Judite women. Right.
There you go.
Listen, I say, listen, my grandchildren have to look like me, and I'm not racist, but listen, they got to look like me. I got to see, I got to know that when I'm not here, there's another one that I'm running around here. Right. So it's like this, and they had to work towards it, but they was honest. They was like, Dad, I'm gonna tell you how it is. I got one son. I'm not gonna mention his name, but he played football. Right? He says, listen, the white girls, they come out, they're hanging next to the football practice. They're coming with sandwiches. They're coming with iced tea. And it's like the environment that we grew around. My sons didn't realize that, okay, I'm being treated nice for no reason. And it's a shock to our men who are used to living in a community where you're chasing, or there's some type of game, cat and mouse game, or some conflict between a Black man or whatever the case is and a Black woman, where there's a fight, to actually be somewhere being treated nice, being treated like a person. And I told my son, I dealt with my son when he was going to college and was dealing with all that. I'm like, listen. He said, that's what it is. It's just that it's a culture shock after what we gone through to actually be treated nice by somebody. To have someone feminine, someone looking to, for no reason at all, throw a picnic thing down and have tea and sandwiches after their practice and not asking for anything. And my son, both of my sons, two separate ages, two separate colleges, gave me the same experience and say, Dad, those white girls be knowing how to play the game. I said, I'm gonna tell you the game we gonna play. My grandbabies better look like me, and this is how it's gonna go down. He's like, that's the whole deal, though. The whole deal is it's an unfair thing because sometimes when you go to college, some of our people go there and think it's a party. Not that the white girls don't party too, but they know how to mingle and know when it's time to graduate, how to lock down that person. They're gonna live. They're gonna live a high scale or at least a middle class life with. They know that last couple of years is when you tone everything down and lock down who you're gonna be with. And I asked my son, I'm like, listen, we need to talk about this because it's not, I'm gonna tell you, it's nothing negative because there are sisters like that. When I grew up, there were sisters like that, right? There are sisters like that. You have to find them. But in college, these girls that be coming from the suburbs, these white girls be coming with a plan. I have two sons who've given, and not only that, when I went to school and all that, I can recognize a lot of that. But I'm gonna tell you, they be coming with a game plan. They be coming with a playbook when they go to college.
Yes, sir.
Right? And it's not that these young men that all marrying other white girls and all that, they desire sisters first. And they'll tell you that. They'll tell you that. So, you know what? We're going to have that discussion next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're going to have that discussion.
Let's do it.
We're going to have that discussion. But go on. We have to have that discussion because, you know, it's like a game of chicken, right? Or a game where either one is willing to budge. It's like she's going to wait until a man be this. And he's going to wait for a girl to be that. And in the middle, and while we sitting there, a standoff, the Gentiles are coming in the middle of both of us, destroying either of us at this standoff. And that's the conversation I want to have, not the blame. Who's going to budge? And according to God, who is supposed to budge? Next week. But go on. You have the last word.
No, Elder, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. This is an honor to even be able to.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me say this. I'm so glad, you know, my son, my first son, he has a grandson that looks just like me. Praise the Most High. He has a granddaughter. He has a beautiful, beautiful Judite woman. She's part Judite. Well, she got Gad on her mother's side somewhere, but she's dark as I am. Thank the Most High. She's dark and beautiful, right? And my other son, yes, last week he brought a beautiful Judite sister, and there's a possibility that can go the same way. So if you're patient and all that, but I'm just speaking in general when I talk about colleges, okay, and all of these, because in generalities, there's usually some data we can pull from that to how to teach and use that as a teaching tool based on what's going on within society, okay? I'm just putting that out there in general, okay? Because here's the reality. Regardless of what we talk about when it comes to the truth and the world, we still got to live in the world.
Right.
So to act as if, okay, this is just church and all that, and the world has no bearing on how life is played out is utterly impossible. It's insane not to think that the world don't have an impact because we must interact one with another. That's why I use these topics to come to a biblical wisdom type conclusion, right? As we come closer to the end. And that's all it's about. But I wanted to talk about that. These girls be coming, I'm gonna tell you, these girls be going to these colleges with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And the best of our people, of our young men that are not really, as far as we're concerned, appreciated or valued as we should be valued. These are the men they're targeting. The other nations are targeting the best of our people, of our men.
Yeah.
They're targeting, they're going to classes trying to find out how to get our men, the best of our men. Now, the rest of the people, the men that's out shooting and gangbanging, no, they're saying, listen, we'll leave them for you. We'll leave them for you. The people who are in and out of jail and all that, we'll leave them for you, but we're targeting the best of your sons. And if so, we know it's the truth. We can't get mad about it. We can't get upset about it. What are we prepared to do to keep the best for ourselves? What are we willing to do? That's all. Let's have the conversation. Because we at a standoff and no one's budging. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry about that.
No, man, don't apologize at all. I'm just taking everything in that you're saying because, again, like I said, it's layers deep, and it's an honor to speak to you, sir. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild when you start seeing again just how they have the playbook. They know exactly how to get us, like you said, the best of the best. So much so that it's making our generation of men, specifically my age as well and younger, especially younger, more privy to hedonism, because it's like, well, wait a second. I saw my favorite basketball player, who again we're taught to idolize, football player, etc. They had it all, and now they have nothing because this, white girl or whatever girl from another nation played the game right, got you into marriage, and then took everything. It's like, oh, forget marriage. Now you have certain podcasts where they have a large influence of young men, and they're teaching them that like it's no benefit to marry. So you might as well just accumulate as many women as possible, raise as a man, right? So that you can have more value in the dating marketplace, aka the sexual marketplace.
Yeah.
And then, make your money. And then again, mammon, and then the other mammon, right? Which is just lust, temptation, the things of this world. So everything that you said goes layers deep. But again, even what we're talking about right now, it's like, this is the power of...
Hold up, brother. I'm gonna let you go ahead real quick. I think that's going to be a topic for the brother that's been in the NFL for 10 years, Raphael. I believe when we sit down, we're going to have that discussion.
Yes.
Because I know he've run into that, right? For being a serious athlete from high school to college to the pros. If anyone can give us some insight on what I've just discussed.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my son would have made it to the pros if he didn't break his ankle. So he was able to see the high school, college part of things, right? But I need to hear it from a guy who was able to go through all those temptations and all that and see how the whole machine works. And he still ended up with a beautiful Israelite family. But all in all, I know he has some serious tells, some tapes. Okay. When I say some tapes, some things in his mind that he can give an insight to this divide when it comes to the best of our men being taken by other women.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that.
Yep.
But go on.
The title should be Attack of the Snow Bunnies, because that's what they call them. The Snow Bunnies.
Listen, if Umar didn't come up with that, then I would probably use that term. But I'm not going to use anything he has to say until he pay our people back from stealing from them. Yeah. All right? Talking about the attack of the snow bunnies. I'm not using anything that guy say until he pay our people back. He's stealing from our people, so I can't do that.
I mean, I wouldn't even give him credit for that, to be honest, because I don't really listen to Dr. Umar. Like, I heard more about him when I got into this truth and like how to beware of him. But like one of the sisters said earlier, the pastor's daughter, that spirit of truth has always been with me, like on a subconscious level.
But snow bunnies is something that Umar kind of coined, a phrase he coined.
Yeah, I got you.
But go ahead. You have the last word, brother. We're about to go. I'm about to eat. And
Yes.
and you know what? I want to have more testimonies because I do this usually once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, because I don't think our people have enough. They don't give what this truth is doing enough respect.
Mm.
Speaking of the positives, they would rather us continue to kill each other, destroy each other with no law. And I've seen this truth change so many people's lives, including my own. And I believe, and I don't only believe, I know, if we all came to the knowledge of this truth together, all together, we would change our condition. Our condition would change, young man, immediately.
Absolutely.
Because we would have an allegiance only to us with a moral foundation in place to measure other people. I don't care about all your other, as far as your civil plights that you all have and your discrimination stuff you're talking about, that's none of our business. You can't align yourself with us at all. We have an allegiance to our God and our people first. Now, if we do this, we'll understand who the enemy is, and he'll have to do what? He would have to face off real time that day because he can no longer infiltrate us from the inside. I'd rather deal with my enemy face to face than someone undermining me. So if we came together all at once, our enemies would have to stop playing these political games and say, listen, let's go to war. But as long as we allow them to infiltrate us and all that, hey, they're going to continue to destroy us as they've been destroying us. So I believe if we have this truth together, we would align ourselves and immediately our condition would change, politically and otherwise. Listen, politics, young man. Listen, we're not voting for anyone, any cause. We're not dealing with no black or brown people. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Asians has a place, China. So you're not going to come and become my political leader when you are a minority in my community. East Indians, you have a country. Go to East India. Don't come and try to be a black and brown person to actually affect the politics where my people are suffering.
Right.
I don't believe in your religion, and I don't trust you.
Right.
See, if we came together as Israelites like that, that'll be it on that. The communities would be cool. All the money in our communities will go to its constituency. In the ghettos, we're impoverished. All the money goes to us. We're not dealing with whether or not your sexuality and whether or not you come from another country. If you're not an Israelite, no, zero. If you're a part of the 10 tribes, then guess what? We're in it together. We split the pie together. All the other ones, you're booted out.
God.
These are the steps we could take if we came together under the Bible. And that's what they fear. Even if it's Jewish people, listen, y'all, you got your own state, you got your own country, you got the Holocaust, you got Holocaust survivors, you got money coming down. That's all good. That's for you and your people. You got your own community. That's for you and your people. We don't need you affecting our politics. You deal with what's going on with your people like Chinese people deal with their people, and stop trying to use our voting block to aggrandize yourselves. Any nation. Our people first. Israel first.
Yes, sir. That's
some serious empowerment, young man. I'm dropping some dimes on you today. Come on, talk to me. One more. I got to go to sleep, but come on, talk to me. I got to sleep and I got to eat.
Nah, man, you're good. You're good. The water, man, everything that you're sharing, I'm taking it all in as always. Again, various people already shared this, but the amount of work that you guys have put out there, anytime you're feeling something, and even not just staying plugged in, it's so easy to do that because you guys have a plethora of videos. So I just want to say thank you for that, man. And there's been, again, so many layers of truth. Last thing I'll say is, again, going from Islam to having some kind of black and white standard, coming to the Christian churches, losing all standards. Like I went from not eating pork to eating pork because of the Christian churches, but I'll carry that weight. You know what I mean? But it's wild when they tell you this is from Christ and, oh, well, you can do what you want. And then coming back to a standard here has been so heavy, but not the burden of it. There's no burden as far as like the heaviness, but it's just heavy as far as like, wow, okay, I now feel the solidity in my bones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel Christ in my veins. I feel that I'm in the right place and space with the right family and the right actual support and everything. Like you said, this is really being I don't want to say pro black, you know what I mean?
No, this is pro Christ, pro Israel.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
matter of fact, let's make it right because they might get that confused. Pro Christ, pro Christ, pro Israelite. Go on.
There you go. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. And again, just that solidarity with your actual people, you know what I mean? And knowing where you come from in that bloodline, it's huge, you know, because I know my parents are from Africa, and that helped me in life having some foundation of identity. But this is another layer deep. And again, I've seen breakthrough that I haven't seen for decades in my life. Finally coming to the water, brother.
Well, thank you, my brother, and I hope to see you soon. I'll be traveling over there too. Stay strong. You are a warrior in Christ, and guess what? We got next. Shalom.
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Look at that. Look at the children of Israel. The lion has awakened. Okay? Y'all can take Billy Porter and Saucy Santana. Okay? Real men are standing up. Who are we? We are the children of Israel. And we are back. All right? With that, I'm going to say shalom. And keep in mind, the Most High is calling back the children of Israel. Shalom. Blessings. The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape, we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. So we be Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, and Valley from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans. The highest gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us. At gunpoint. Together our wives and children then sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A high gatherer. Asher in Colombia. Reuben from Australia. Issachar, the Mexicans. A highest gathering Israel. Judah, the Negroes. Benjamin, the West Indians. Levi, the Haitians. A highest gathering Israel. Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans. That's who we be, Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians, Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, and Valley from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indian.